Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Capital City Sports Network, where tonight, from the Ford Ice Center here in Nashville, Tennessee, the American Collegiate Hockey Association proudly presents the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Auburn Tigers. It is game one here of the SECC Tournament in Nashville. Dillon Clark with Zach McKinstry. We are so grateful that you could be here with us this afternoon here in Nashville. Zach, big start to the tournament here. First game for the Gamecocks, first game for Auburn, and the tempo is going to have to be set early. These two teams already played each other just 2 weeks ago. How does this game get really set up for both of these teams?
Yeah, for South Carolina, this whole season has depended on their start early. If they start well, then they usually continue to dominate the rest of the game. But if they start poorly, it's tough playing from behind. So a key to this game for South Carolina is going to need to score quick, be offensive, and stay disciplined.
Talked to Jake Tenji, Gamecock captain, in the locker room prior to this game. Talked about that the Gamecocks can play the speed game, they can play the energy game, and that's a game plan that if they stick to it, they should win it. They need to stay out of the penalty box. If there is one thing we have said more than anything else this season, it has been that. Flashback to last year, 2018 SEC Tournament. Gamecocks started off the year, or that tournament I should say, a 9-4 loss to Kentucky. They didn't keep their heads in that game. They didn't score early. They didn't score often, and that was the reason they found themselves on that consolation bracket afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely left a bad taste in this team's mouth this entire season. They started this season very hot in SEC play, playing really well and earning seed in this SEC tournament. And it's important for them. They definitely want to play well and avenge their performance last year.
One last chance for so many of these Gamecock seniors here in Nashville. And they get started against a team they've already seen just a few weeks ago, a 5-3 win against these Auburn Tigers outdoors in Athens. The difference in that game, chances that they didn't quite capitalize on. They were still able to squeak out with the win, but Alan Serwas said that the chances, if they're there, they're going to need to capitalize on them in this game.
Absolutely. They're definitely going to need to capitalize on all offensive chances. Ian Powderly in that last game with 2 goals. He's going to be a key difference maker for the South Carolina team. Getting the puck into the offensive zone and setting up chances, along with Bobby Van Dusen, who also had 2 goals that game in the 5-3 victory. And then on the other side, Auburn, Chandler Brown had 2 assists, dishing the puck really well, and he's going to be one to watch today as well.
Chandler Brown, the leading scorer for Auburn. Gamecocks having a difficult time shutting down the opposition's leading scorers, regardless of who it is or whom they play for. They're going to have to watch Chandler Brown tonight in this game. And that'll do it for the pregame show. When we come back, the teams will hit the ice for the warm-ups, and we will have the first period of the SEC Tournament here in Nashville. Stay with us. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to the Capital City Sports Network. We are just about to get underway here. First game of the SEC Tournament for South Carolina. It is not the first game overall. Just a few minutes prior to game time, the Georgia Bulldogs took down the Tennessee Volunteers by a score of 14-0. Zach, we knew Georgia would be tough going into this competition, but not 14-0 tough.
Yeah, they're definitely the team to beat right now. Big win against Tennessee, who has struggled throughout this entire season. But the Bulldogs are deserving of the #1 seed so far.
Shifting our attention now to the matter at hand. Number 3 ranked South Carolina taking on number 6 ranked Auburn. These two teams, as we said, facing off already just a few weeks ago. The starters for South Carolina, Kyle Gradsky will be between the pipes for the Gamecocks. Across the ice from him will be Hayden Harris. Gamecocks will go with Bobby Van Duzen, Jake Tenji, and Cam Mecca up front. Brian Soar will be paired with Avery Pruden on the back end to start this thing. Nick Peters switched off now. He'll start out with Duncan Hickman on the bench. No doubt we will see those two in the coming moments. Bit of a delay here before puck drop. There's always something going on here in Nashville. The beautiful Ford Ice Center practice facility, if you couldn't tell by that giant Predators logo at center ice. Practice facility for the Nashville Predators. Home to the entire SEC tournament here. As we have more pucks we got to put away. It's always something, huh?
Always excitement here in Nashville for the SEC tournament. And never a dull moment, Dillon.
Important to note, Zach Lynch has been cleared to play, but Alan Sirwall holding him out. Just as a precaution here, he'll put Kyle Gradsky, 2-3 on the season, 6.23 goals against average, a .773 save percentage, and we are underway here. Thank you for joining us. Auburn wraps this one in around. After to get it, Brian Soar in front of the goal. Auburn rotating down low. 3 guys in front of the net. Come to the far side in front of the South Carolina bench. They'll slap this one back in. Avery Pruden. It's a hard collision there. Thomas Moore, the physicality, a factor right away. Cam Mecca, as far as center ice, it's slapped back in. Pruden's going to have to pick this one at the neutral zone, flip this one all the way back in off a glove, no icing. And after it is Cam Mecca. Mecca, leading goal scorer for South Carolina. 10 goals on the season, 6 assists to complement that. 16 points in his games this season. A goal and an assist for 2 points against Auburn. Back they go on the rotation. Powderly on the ice for South Carolina now. This one goes all the way in. D to D, they'll go up through the slot area. Tigers back on the attack. Chandler Brown, 11-14 for 25 here in this campaign, 2018-19. First minute in the books here. Gamecocks try to stretch things out east and west. Ben Smith just going to one-touch this puck back in, and he will watch as this puck played up on all the way around the boards, popping ahead. And now a chance back the other way. Chandler Brown watched there by Corey Hawkinson. Got to watch the sticks there. A couple of South Carolina players on the bench receiving those ones, and a chance in front goes off the leg of one of the South Carolina players. Back in the corner, still they dig after it. Ben Smith after for the Gamecocks. Smith sees this one come free. He's going to start the rush back the other way. Off for Hawkinson. He brings this one a long shot. Save made there. Easy glove stop for Hayden Harris, his first of the night. And we get a stoppage in play, our first of the game, with 18:27 to go in period number 1.
Yeah, Dylan, we talked about before the game how both of these teams need to capitalize on their offensive opportunities. And Auburn with a chance there in their offensive zone and couldn't get a clean shot on net there. And on the other end, South Carolina with a break and a good save by Harris.
Always a feeling out process. The early stages of these hockey games as Ronan Eguin sees this one come through his legs off the faceoff. Back in, alternate captain Nick Pizzo, a senior this year, will be his last SEC tournament. Back out to the point. A long shot by Hoey. Save me the rebound. Just swatted into the corner away from the stick of Dave Murray. Murray in after it. Teams up there with Blake Drummond as well as Ronan Eguin. Murray behind the goal again. Lots of pressure, but he is no stranger to that. Murray kicks this puck ahead. Still they hold it in. Murray still in after it. And now diving down to the ice. The puck's underneath him somewhere. Picked up in the slot there by Eguin. Eguin a backhand shot. Save made the rebound. Kicked out. And again another save. Hayden Harris being tested early and often, and he is equal to the task. Back the other way come the Tigers. A regrouping shot there. Sticked into the glass there by Kyle Gradsky. 17:39 to go in the period. Still a scoreless hockey game. 3 shots on goal so far for the Gamecocks. Auburn just registering their first. Back they come the other way. Robeson dumps this one back in. Brian Soar back on for South Carolina, and he will control this breakout. Stretch pass through center ice. Ends up on the tape of someone in a white sweater. Jack Driggs, they go D to D. Forecheck by South Carolina. Colin Anderson back in this game after missing quite a few with that hairline fracture in his shoulder. Anderson, 3 assists on the season, more than excited to get back into the lineup here in such a crucial game. This puck chipped back in. Gamecocks try to work it out as far as center ice, but Loic Harriso moves this one D to D, and they'll move it up and ahead. Right in front of the Gamecock bench is Adam Carlson. Carlson bringing it down that right side. Centering pass never got to its intended target. Now it's swatted away, but again it comes back in front, and Soar's going to have to see this one up off the high glass and out into neutral territory. D to D again. Auburn going to wind something up from their own zone. Brinkman out in front. Fresh troops on. Going to be Chris Hutter. Hutter, we do have a number for him this time. You'll remember that outdoor game. There was an anonymous number 5 out there, and we found out it is Chris Hutter, and it is still Chris Hutter. As this puck redirected in by Corey Hawkinson. Hawkinson with a little less than 16.5 to go. Underneath. Can't hang on to that puck. It's swung all the way back around, and pinching in here, Nick Peters going to keep it on the backhand, but only temporarily. Bring it back out now. Brandon Weiss. Weiss, a 2-on-1 for Auburn. Pulls up, shoots one, he scores! Brandon Weiss, I believe the initial shot went in. Auburn on the board here first. 16:06 in the period. It's a 1-0 lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that whole play started with Pizzo being a little bit aggressive on the South Carolina end, pressuring on the forecheck, and led to a 2-on-1 odd man rush, and a great shot there above the shoulder of Gradsky to make this one 1-0.
Brandon Weiss up and over the glove, his 8th of the season. Makes it a 1-0 game early on here. 16:06 to go in this first period. Auburn with something to prove here after that 5-3 thumping they felt at the hands of these Gamecocks just 2 weeks ago. As this rebound kicks out, 2 big saves there by Gradsky, and a third one gets the glove down on top of that puck and a face-off. And Gamecocks back on their heels a little bit to start this hockey game.
Yeah, quick start there. And one thing we've seen throughout SEC play is struggles from goalies for rebound control. The puck's bouncing out. And we've seen a couple shots so far on both ends where the goalies haven't controlled the puck on the first shot, and it's bounced away. But good job by Gradsky icing that one and leading to the face-off.
Face-off to the right of Gradsky ends up skittering back through slot area. Sophomore Evan Hoey after this one backhands it up and chipped all the way back out into the air. And a big hit there. Getting in on the physicality. Gamecock captain Jake Tenji talked again before the game. They need a hot start. They haven't gotten it. Tenji trying to wake his teammates up here. Underneath, Cam Mecca after it. Getting heavily involved there. 2 men collide in the corner. Van Dusen comes over. Puck back down below. Mecca picks up his stick, and he'll go after it as the Tigers wrist this one around. We'll see that one come to Steve Verone. Verone chips it out past Blake Drummond of the Gamecocks rifle. This one back into the far side, and Blanding's going to be after this one for Auburn. Auburn sets up behind Hayden Harris. They'll go out and they'll go cross ice off a stick, and it comes back to Blanding once more. Blanding backhands one. Loic Harriso. Up and again. They'll start it again from their own zone. Regroup point of some difficulty here for Auburn to begin this hockey game. Back in, Gamecocks see it coming to the offensive zone and quickly out again. Offsides delayed, they'll have to touch up. Evan Hoey's got this one right on that Predator logo. And bringing this one in, Ian Powderly, 2 goals against Auburn in the last game. A long shot there by Ben Smith, easily kicked out by the right pad of Hayden Harris. All the way down the ice for an icing, waved off there. Kyle Gradsky touching this one. 14.5 to go in the first. Shots even at 4 apiece. Score uneven at 1-0. Now chance here into the slot. Sticked out of danger there by Kyle Gradsky. Nice heads-up play by him. Slide that glove hand down the shaft of the stick and redirect it into the corner. On the quick breakout here, Ian Powderly. 1 man against 3. They'll dump this one back in. Ben Smith after for the Gamecocks. Powderly to the bench. Smith turns around, can't find that puck. It's poked free. Up the near side to Moore. Pruden pinching in, throws this one off the dasher. Ronan Egan after for the Gamecocks. Egan with 14 to go here in the period. Ronan Egan, 4 goals on the season, looking for a 5th. He hasn't scored in quite some time. And this one flipped all the way up and out, landing neatly in front of Brian Soar. He will start this again from his own zone. Soar almost hit Ben Smith in the skates there. Gamecocks in danger of taking a too many men penalty. Not a stranger to those either this season. Behind the goal, Auburn works it out in front of Chance, and Soar knocks that one down, plays it out of his skates. Soar's going to go get it himself. Twirling away from one check as he searches for a passing option here. Brian Soar again goes to the air. I don't think anybody does that more than Brian Soar. Pizzo down the near side though. Taken down on a delayed penalty here. Picked up in the slot there. Shot there by Egan. May have caught the goalpost. Back out free in the slot area. Murray has it. Gradsky off. Shot knocked down in front. Awkwardly handled there by Hayden Harris. Finally touched up by Auburn. And we will have a whistle here. First penalty of the game. Gamecocks will go to the power play here with 13:12 to go in the first period.
impressive play right there, drawing the penalty and going down to the ice, but keeping the play alive, setting up that pass from the ice into the slot and setting up a shot there, but a good save by Harris with the majestic hair flowing through the helmet in the Auburn goal.
Bit of an awkward save there. Harris doing everything he can. That puck just flipped on goal initially. Turned into a grade A opportunity for South Carolina. But they'll take the power play. 1-0 game here. 13-12 to go in period number 1. Shots 6-5 in favor of South Carolina. Short-handed. Auburn sees this one coming to the near side corner. Flipped all the way back out. Nice clearing play there. Tyler Brinkman. Brinkman started the game on the back end for Auburn alongside Jacob Blanding. And again, Jake Tenji here on the power play for South Carolina. He'll wind one up, fake the shot, and go back down below. Centering pass just between the wickets there at Harris. Cam Mecca couldn't finish. Back down again, it's Mecca. In front, loose there for Tenji, and sprawling out to make the save. Beautiful stop there by Hayden. Harris will get a whistle and a face-off here with 12:44 to go in the first.
A couple good chances leading off good puck movement by South Carolina, but once again, Harris coming up big. Good save, diving out of the crease and landing on that puck before anything further happens.
Jake Tenji talking about how energy is crucial here to start this hockey game, and I don't think anybody is as energized here in the first period as Jake Tenji. Anytime you see him out on the ice, he is all over it. Back out now. Soar holds it at the point. Touched in by Jake Tenji. Around it comes Mecca, sees this one onto his stick. Mecca goes to the point now. Dave Murray. 4 forwards on for South Carolina. Mecca down low. They'll work it out of the corner here. Looking for a lane. Van Dusen goes back down low again. A jam play in front, and Jake Tenji just couldn't get a stick on that one. Waved that by a one-handed opportunity for Dave Murray. But that one goes all the way back down into South Carolina territory. Final minute of the penalty. 12 and some change to go here in the first period. Motored on ahead. It's Murray once more. Fresh attackers for South Carolina. Ian Powderly on the ice as he breaks towards the net. Bringing it right around in front, and Dave Murray couldn't curl that one between the wickets of the defender. And back in off the stick of Kyle Gradsky. Duncan Hickman on for South Carolina to restart. This will kill some time for Auburn. Up and ahead. Far side, they bring it. 3 men strong as they enter the zone. Knocked off a stick there, and still on the follow-up chances. Peters a drive from the slot. Tipped in front, rebound, loose and still. And now finally blown dead. Hayden Harris has that puck after a mad scramble. And for the 3rd time on this power play, Harris comes up big.
Harris again, absolutely, Dillon. That puck rolled out perfectly for South Carolina. A good chance on the slap shot, and that puck first saved by Harris, and then scramble out in front. Once again, Harris comes up with it. Big save at the end of this power play.
Being able to see through that screen is key for Harris. Peters now at the point. Another shot, save made by Harris, and again the rebound just out in front. And now it's cleared out past the stick of Nick Peters to the final 13 seconds of the penalty for South Carolina. Unless they get something going quick here, that'll effectively kill off their first opportunity of the night. Hickman out into neutral territory. One touch back in over the stick there. Hopped off of Loic. Harris back in, no icing. Player out of the box. Even strength we go here. 5-on-5 and racing back the other way. It's going to be another chance for Auburn. Brandon Weiss, a shot. Save made there by Gradsky. Weiss tries to go far side. Might have caught the stick there of Gradsky. Powderly waves at it now. Whacked off his stick there. Nice defensive play in Auburn territory. Weiss again. Stretch pass. Here it is. Brown shoots one and he scores. Chandler Brown goes up over the glove of Gradsky. It's 2-0 Auburn here. 10:51 to go here in period number 1.
Another mental mistake that we've seen so far this South Carolina season. A little line change there led to an odd man rush and an easy split right there. And a nice goal once again over the shoulder of Gradsky, making this game 2-0.
Chandler Brown, 2 assists in their 1 game so far. Did not have a goal in that. Now he's got one. 12 on the season, 14 assists. Point number 26 right there for the captain of these Auburn Tigers, Chandler Brown. A 2-0 hole here the Gamecocks must dig themselves out of. First, they got to stop the bleeding. Back around, near side. Some flashbacks to Kentucky last season. A 9-4 loss there. Started out with 2 goals just like that. Again, Auburn with some fire and some speed. And again, breaking on through center ice. This time it's broken up. Comes free again, though. A slot chance as more players go down to the ice. Thomas Moore in that fray somewhere. A delayed penalty here. We've got a whistle and an interference call coming up. Looks like Gamecocks will play shorthanded here. 10:21 to go in the first. And we will wait to see word from the penalty box as to who is booked on what.
Good job on that play by number 16, Thomas Moore of Auburn. Following that puck, even though Auburn had a one man already up, and it set up the press from the South Carolina defense and led to that penalty. So another penalty that South Carolina has said in the locker room they wanted to work on their discipline and penalty kill. So big penalty kill coming here.
Drummond in the box for South Carolina. Interference the call. Below the goal line, they work it. Back out. Lots of teams in this SEC like to work that power play from out of the corner. Back out to the point. They'll move back down top of the circles. Try to get it in the slot area. This one whacked all the way back down. Nice defensive play there by Brian Soar. Soar with Ronan Egan and Nick Pizzo out on this penalty kill, as well as Avery Pruden. Back ahead, it's Auburn. Moore shooting one off the leg there of Avery Pruden. Soar sees this one coming to him, and again, it's Moore behind the net. Couldn't get a handle on that puck, and Soar gets it right back for the Gamecocks. Soar risks this one all the way back down the ice. Pizzo knows where it is. It's going to be a 2-on-1 chance, shorthanded for the Gamecocks. Centering pass, Egan shoots one, and a big save there by Harris. And now another delayed penalty here, touched up by Auburn. Slashing will be the call, and we will see Jacob Blanding sit for a pair here with about 1:14 to go on the penalty to Blake Drummond. That'll mean 4-on-4 for just over a minute here.
Well, Dillon, it's not often that you get a shorthanded odd man rush there, and a 2-on-1 in the zone, and a big chance for South Carolina, and the shot straight at Harris into the chest, and a good save by Harris, keeping this game at 2-0.
Great patience by Pizzo to feed that puck to Ronan Egan. A lot of guys want to force that play too early. Pizzo waited perfectly, and Harris just got a solid push from his left to his right, and able to get the body on it. Able to smother that puck right in the logo. Gamecocks break it out here on the 4-on-4. Van Duzen with Mecca joining him. Van Duzen gets around his man, tries to center one and tuck it in on that near side, but sealed off there with that reverse VH. Hayden Harris getting that right pad down, sealing off that goalpost. 9 to go here in the period. Nice move there through center. Blake Robinson shot there, knocked down in slot territory. Nick Peters has to get back to his feet, as will Duncan Hickman. Mecca down this near side. He's got Van Duzen in the slot. Mecca tries to strong arm this one through, and Mecca goes down, but he gets right back in after that puck. A centering pass there, just off the stick of Van Duzen, and this one covered by Harris. Van Duzen gets in after it. Great one-handed move there by Cam Mecca. Thomas Creech bodies Bobby Van Duzen off a secondary opportunity, and another whistle here. 8:47 to go in the period, and we've got about 26 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4.
Yeah, a couple nice dekes there, Dillon and Auburn in their offensive zone, and then Cam Mecca on the response, creating chances offensively, and Harris coming up, icing it again, keeping this game 2-0.
Wide open ice here with the reduced personnel for both squads. Gamecocks trying to make the most of it. Ahead, a bouncer, whacked back out by Pruden, one touch by Tenji. Free it comes to Corey Hawkinson. Hawkinson surrounded by Tigers, but he can make a play for the net. Another shot, save made by Harris, not once, but twice. And again, Harris gets the glove on top for another face-off. We got a penalty here again behind the play. Somebody's going to go for a hold. And Jake Tenji is getting towards the bench rather than the penalty box. And it looks like Auburn, Tyler Brinkman, going to be booked on the holding penalty. In 5 seconds, when Blake Drummond gets out of the box, it'll be a 5-on-3 for the Gamecocks. Right now, it'll be 4-on-3. And once that 5-on-3 begins, that'll last, give or take, 45 seconds. Hawkinson with Murray and Soar and Powderly out there for the Gamecocks. This one wrapped around shorthanded. Nice clearing opportunity there by John Allen. Back around, touched by Gradsky. Drummond out of the box for South Carolina. 5-on-3, two-man advantage here. Hawkinson brings this one up. He's got Powderly in the slot with Nick Pizzo. Hawkinson pulls up around that face-off dot. Goes to the back end. Brian Soar. Soar walking in, goes back now to Corey Hawkinson. A shot lifted all the way up in the air into the netting. And we will get a, depending on who that puck went off of, either an offensive zone chance for the Gamecocks or just outside the blue line.
Really important next 26 seconds here for the Gamecocks. 5-on-3 opportunity, down 2. We've talked about the struggles this season of coming back while down early, and South Carolina showing what they're made of here in the next 20 seconds still.
Murray on the point now. Center lane drive here for Soar. Back over to Dave Murray. Murray at the top of the save made, rebound, and Doe. Loose in front in the crease. I thought Powderly put that one in. Loose and still. Now we get a whistle. What a crazy, I have no idea how Harris kept that puck out of the net. It looked like a wide open cage there for Ian Powderly, and he just couldn't tuck it home.
Boy, oh boy, how, I don't know how that happened. Incredible play by Harris to keep that one out of the net, as he's, a couple players barreled into the goal right now, and Harris is on his back, but boy, yeah, that was a wide open net there for Powderly, just a tap in, and impressive to keep that out. That was something special, Dillon.
Hayden Harris impressing both teams early on here. Toughest man to beat out there on either side of the puck, as we will have not a timeout, but a stoppage and some discussion here.
Might be a penalty shot here, Dillon.
Penalty shot. We just heard it from the box. A penalty shot. We'll see who it's for. Well, they're going to rule that one of the Auburn defensemen covered their hand on the puck in that crease area. A penalty shot here. Big chance for the Gamecocks. They'll tap Ian Powderly to take it. Powderly against Harris. This is the first penalty shot we've seen all year. Powderly going to take a direct approach against Harris. The backhand, back to the forehand, and he stuffs it in. Ian Powderly gets the Gamecocks on the board. It's 2-1 here with 7:48 to go. A penalty shot goal for Ian Powderly.
Big goal for South Carolina to climb back into this game. And as you said, Dillon, first penalty shot we've seen all year comes in a big spot here in the first period, in the first game of the SEC tournament. And Powderly did not disappoint. Great deke there to move to the forehand, and good finish on Harris to keep this game, or make this game 2-1 rather.
Patience there by Powderly, coming in clutch and proving for the first time here that Harris is not a machine, he is a man. Hayden Harris lets up one here. 6-8 on the season is Harris's record, and not uncommon here. Goals against average 4.34, 783 save percentage. Again, not marks we'd usually see up at the higher levels, but like we said, in college hockey, anything's possible. Kyle Gratzky, at the moment, before the start of this game, 6.23 goals against average, a 773 save percentage. Pretty run-of-the-mill numbers here for some of these teams. And because that was a penalty shot, the personnel does not change. Still a 5-on-3 for South Carolina. Powderly, below the goal line, looks up top to Pruden. Pruden creeping down low. Again, he goes to Powderly. Cross-ice pass picked up there by Brian Soar. One man out of the box. Centering pass again. Powderly just missed an opening cage for the second time. Ian Powderly again below the goal line. Around it comes Soar, can't keep that in. 3 opportunities for Powderly so far in this game, and he's got 1 goal. Back through, Hawkinson out-muscled there. It comes in neutral territory to Pruden. 44 to go on the one-man advantage now for South Carolina. Pruden button hooks in his own territory, shoveled back in on the backhand, this time by Ben Smith. In after it is Powderly once more. Wrapping this one around. More fresh troops from the bench for South Carolina. This puck goes off a shin guard. Brian Soar's going to have to retreat as this puck is flipped all the way back out, and a bouncer just settled down there by Pruden. 6:50 to go in the period. Penalty shot there by Ian Powderly recently makes this a 2-1 hockey game. Back out now, Ronan Egan. Final seconds of the power play. Egan centering pass, and another chance there for Ben Smith goes just wide. Smith mines this one out of the corner and goes to the back end to Pruden. Pruden with Murray rotating, goes back down low to Smith again. A centering pass intended for Dave Murray, and this one plucked out of the air by Hayden Harris. Nice hand-eye there by the Auburn goaltender to snare that puck with 5 seconds to go on the penalty.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Dillon, with Ian Powderly. 3 chances this game, and he chose to score the hardest one. Two open net chances right there, and good saves by Harris and misses from Powderly. He's definitely kicking himself, but Gamecocks are getting chances on long passes backdoor to the slot, and if they can keep that up, eventually one will get in. That
seam is open as this shot is blocked. We've got a man out of the box here. 5-on-5 once more. They will be counted as 2 penalties killed for Auburn, regardless of the penalty shot goal. Now a chance in the slot. They'll feed this one through just past the stick of Nick Pizzo. Pizzo and now Dave Murray in the corner. Checked there. Jacob Blanding in after it. It'll come free to Brinkman. Now back out of the point. A shot by Hoey. Kicked out there. A nice stick save by Harris. Egan after it. They go back down low again. Pizzo battles for it. Egan's got it again. A bump pass there off the dasher. Picked up there by Dave Murray. Murray throws it back out to Drummond. He can't hold this one in. It goes off a glove there. Whacked back out towards center ice. Sophomore Evan Hoey's got it. Hoey elects not to go D to D. He'll sky this one up towards Dave Murray, and he'll get it right back. Evan Hoey stepping up, pinching in on the play. Top of the circle's a shot. Save made there. And again, a rebound kicked right out into the slot area. If either one of these teams starts packing the slot with players, they're going to get some more rebound goals. Meanwhile, Ronan Egan spins off a check. Still has the puck. Tries to center one for Pizzo. Goes off a skate And racing to keep this one in is Dave Murray, and he can. Puck popped all the way back up in the air. Egan still in after it for the Gamecocks. At the end of his shift there, he's got to be tired. Peters going to elect to pinch in. It goes in off his skate. Comes back out. Gamecocks off the touch up. Tigers will regroup in their own zone and get a full line change. One touch back in by Chandler Brown. Duncan Hickman after it for South Carolina. 5 to go in the period. Wrap this one back around past Dillon Jacob. He goes down towards the ice. Zach Weeks in after it. Again, Jacob and Weeks pull up top of the circles, and a diving play there. Down to the ice goes Brandon Weiss, who's able to hold it in for Auburn, only briefly, though. Chandler Brown sees this one come back out to center, tap back in off a skate of one of the Gamecock defenders in Hickman, and free along the wall. They'll step towards the ice. Weiss, chance in the slot there, knocked down, and more bouncing pucks here in the slot. South Carolina finally able to settle this one down. It comes back and ahead. Jacob in after it, and again, neutral zone regroup for South Carolina. Colin Anderson, back from injury, shoots one, a save made. Harris thought he had that rebound covered, and it comes free. Back out to the point, Duncan Hickman. Sees this one come to Colin Anderson. In after it hard there. Anderson certainly not favoring that shoulder at all, at least in the early stages of this hockey game. Battled back out, nice one-touch pass, Blake Robinson. In the center ice, slot area knocked off, and Nick Peters tries to dump that one off. It's picked up by Anderson. Anderson gets around his man, a fortunate bounce there off the glass. Sees this will come to Peters in the slot, a shot just past the glove there at Harris. Bouncing puck off the glass, comes back to Tenji. Tries to center one again, Peters another chance. And this one goes past the stick of Cam Mecca. 3:40 to go in the period. Tenji, the Gamecocks collapse here. In the slot, a chance for Jake Tenji, he's taken down, the puck goes just wide again. Anderson still in after this puck. They'll try to pick it out of the skates. Cam Mecca in after for the Gamecocks. Steve Verone tries to shut him down. They'll see this one as far as the near side boards. Peters going to whack this one back in once again. Mecca below the goal line. Tries to center, but no one's home in a South Carolina sweater. This one's still poked in, and still after it is Cam Mecca. Taking a couple of shoulders up high there. Finally, the Tigers get this one out. Gloved down by Nick Peters. Peters flips this one back in, and mercifully for him, he gets off the ice. He was on for about a minute and a half there, and that was a heavy shift for Nick Peters and South Carolina. This one touched up here on an icing, and both teams will get a breather here. 3:03 to go in the first period.
And what a shift right there from Jake Tenji. Great. On the Auburn break, Jake Tenji made a good effort to hustle back and get the stick poke check to turn it over and get the chance in the offensive zone, and then was rewarded with a shot in the offensive zone that leaked out. And once again, good play from Harris to keep those from going in net.
At this point, the shot's 15-7 in favor of South Carolina. Jake Tenji more than responsible for quite a few of those Gamecock shots. This one tipped wide of the goal by Ian Powderly. Powderly on with Hawkinson and Ben Smith, as they have been for so much of this season. Soren Pruden on the back end, and Pruden pinching in, able to keep this one in with some help by Ben Smith. Finally comes out in a delayed call, a hand pass called, and the official indicating that this will be an offensive zone faceoff for South Carolina. 2:39 to go in the first. Gamecocks winding up the pressure here. They got a penalty shot goal by Ian Powderly, and quite a few opportunities to go along with it that they were not able to capitalize on.
Certainly picked up their offensive pressure here in the second half of this first period. And once again, a chance in the offensive zone here.
In behind, Powderly sees this one go by. Brian Soar has this one chipped past him by Carlson. Carlson bringing it back on. First chance in a while for Auburn. A bouncing puck there after it's stopped by Gradsky. He gets the glove down on top, and a face-off here just a few seconds later. Gradsky struggled early on with 2 goals up and over the glove, but he's kind of settled in here the latter stages of the first period. Gradsky feeling more confident.
Yeah, Gradsky, big question coming into the game as the least experienced of the 2 goalies on this South Carolina roster, and Zach Lynch getting injured in that last game against Kennesaw State. So Gradsky did get the win against Auburn last time they played. But yeah, big moment for Gradsky right now.
First SEC tournament game for so many of these Gamecock freshmen. First of many to come as we have the SEC expanding, more teams, more divisions. Gamecocks will be in a packed division next year. We'll get more into that later as this puck comes back to Blake Drummond. Final 2 minutes of the period. Back behind the Auburn goal, it's Blanding. Sees this one come to Ronan Egan. Egan still battling for it. He's got Pizzo in front. Egan a shot there, knocked down on the way to the goal. Egan can't get it back. They'll move this one out off the dasher, and Hutter's going to chip this one all the way back down the ice, not before taking a heavy check there by Evan Hoey. Drummond again. Physicality becoming a factor once more. Egan in after it. Drummond again. catalyst of some of the physicality here for South Carolina. They'll move it back out on the near side. Nick Pizzo racing in after it. Can't get to it in time, though. Picked up by Loic Harriso. And a crunch there on the back end by Nick Pizzo. Off the high glass it comes. Going to be a chance the other way. Blake Robinson swatted off his stick there by Evan Hoey. He'll tangle up with Robinson behind the goal. And the Gamecocks will wrist this one up and out. Ronan Egan sees this one off a stick. And at center ice, the Gamecocks will control. Nice move there by Cam Mecca results in nothing. You've got reinforcements. Hickman pinching in, and Jake Tenji on again for South Carolina. Tenji at the stripe. Sees this one come to Cam Mecca. Final minute of the first period. Auburn in their defensive end. Trying to get this one past Jake Tenji. They can't do it. It comes now Duncan Hickman. Broken play ends up in the slot. Somebody winding up for a hit there. And Cam Mecca just getting out of the way in time. Through the skates here. Might be an odd man rush for Auburn. A backhand shot. Save made there by Gradsky. Having to lunge from his left to his right. Able to stop Brandon Weiss there on that near side. And another opportunity here. Gradsky's lost his stick. This puck lofted all the way back out. 30 seconds to go. Gradsky's got his stick once again for South Carolina. Peters behind the goal. One last rush if they can get it together here. Duncan Hickman sees this puck just too far past his stick. Makes a hit there. Peters chips this one ahead with one hand. Now Hickman able to work it back in. 14 to go in the first. This one drifts back. Auburn will pick this up and just try to kill time here. Peters in after it. Gamecocks not ready to give up on the period just yet. It's Hawkinson after it. Chipping it off, and again, Nick Peters holds it in just behind the blue line as the clock hits zeros. Buzzer sounds on the first period. The score stands 2-1 Auburn after some end-to-end action. Shots on goal, South Carolina 16, Auburn 10. We will send you to a break, and when we come back, it'll be the first intermission report here on the Capital City Sports Network presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back. It is the first intermission report here on the Capital City Sports Network. Dillon Clark and Zach McKinstry back with you here. Gamecocks trail 2-1 after 20 minutes, shot 16-10 in favor of South Carolina. A different beginning to the period than the ending there.
Yeah, South Carolina with a slow start. They wanted to start hot. We talked about that in the pregame, but they did pick it up in the second half second half of the first period rather. A lot of chances in the offensive zone and a lot of backdoor slot passes leading to chances. Good saves by the Auburn goalie.
I had a chance to talk to Nick Peters in the days before this, asking about practice on Wednesday. The Gamecocks practicing a lot of systematic things on the power play, and it really showed on that power play. The Gamecocks unable to convert other than the penalty shot by Ian Powderly. But you can see that the system is there, the system's working. Gamecocks just have to finish.
Yeah, working really well. Moving the puck around in the offensive zone is going really well. But on the defensive side, a lot of mental mistakes, which we've seen all year, leading to the 2 goals there for Auburn.
A lot of fluctuation in the play of the Gamecocks, but the one thing that has been consistent from the drop of the puck to the end of the period has been Jake Tenji. He's been all over the place. He said it himself. They need to come out strong, and when his team didn't, he did, and he picked them up as the first period went along.
Absolutely. Tenji playing with a lot of energy. He's playing a physical and aggressive game, skating, trying to beat everyone to every puck, moving all around the ice, moving back from offense to defense, making a play there at the end of the first period. Yeah, and Tenji's been everywhere.
Jake Tenji, as we've always said, one of the great two-way players that the Gamecocks have at their disposal. As we proceed here, Hayden Harris, he's been everything we've said. Fantastic saves. He's been a little bit lucky. Got to be good to be lucky. Got to be lucky to be good. Can we expect to see the same from Harris in the second period?
I don't know, Dillon. A lot of offensive chances for South Carolina. Eventually one's going to go in past Harris, but Harris has been as good as his hair looks, flowing through the helmet. I mentioned that in the first period. We'll see if the South Carolina chances pick up. If they can maintain their offensive chances they did in the second half of the first period, then I think Harris is going to have to do one heck of a job to keep up his rate.
All right, we'll get back to the hair, and we'll get back to the hockey here in a moment. When we come back, it will be the second period here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back. Just about to get started here with the second period from Nashville. Gamecocks trail Auburn 2-1 after 20. A couple of power play opportunities, a penalty shot goal by Ian Powderly, his 10th of the season, and goals by Brandon Weiss as well as Chandler Brown get us to that 2-1 score. We are back underway here in the second period. Auburn moving left to right, a cutting shot just sticked into the corner there by Kyle Gradsky. They'll rip this one out, and again, awkward bounce off a stanchion. Seen a couple of panes of glass just sticking out a little bit here. Gamecocks need Evan Hoey to hammer those back into place. If you know, you know. Here comes Cam Mecca. Underneath, drives to the backhand, a shot just shoveled through the crease there. Picked up by Brian Soar and shoveled in. A stoppage of play here just 30 seconds into the period. Delayed call and hand signal of the official unable to be seen. We will wait here for the update from the penalty box. 19:29 to go in that period. And while we have a stoppage here, interesting to note, Hayden Harris, watching him, always interesting to watch the goaltenders warm up before the start of the period. Harris, you can tell he's strong on his skates. He's got a solid base. He's firm down low, moving left to right. And the way he moves his stick out in front of him, a lot of goaltenders neglect to use their stick now. And Harris, on some of these saves, looks like he's kind of forgotten about it a little bit. But in the warm-ups, very strong stick and footwork by Harris. Directed back in. Hickman's going to collapse back into the neutral zone with Peters. Auburn brings it on here. Pulled up at the top of the circle. A save made there by Gradsky. Didn't know where he was at first. Shot coming off the stick of Thomas Moore. Gamecocks back this one back. Backhand this one back in. Tipped in the high slot area. Just rolls past the stick of Kyle Gradsky. Some more collisions here in that corner. Gamecocks move it back out. On the attack is now Corey Hawkinson with Ian Powderly. Far side, Ben Smith. Drops it off there for Powderly. Into the corner they go. Takes a hit there. Jacob Blanding turning up the physicality here. Hawkinson looks back towards the point. He finds Duncan Hickman with a blast there, blocked. Sacrificing the body, Adam Carlson. Centering pass goes wide. Back in after it is Carlson, alternate captain for Auburn. 52 penalty minutes on the season, 9 goals, 6 assists for 15 points. And now he's a chance for Smith, a shot. Just kicked out there. Nice toe save by Hayden Harris. 18:30 to go. Gamecocks still trying to make up that 2-1 deficit. They'll go D-to-D, and Ben Smith almost able to catch him sleeping there. As this puck rolls back in, Duncan Hickman's going to have to pick it up for South Carolina. As we approach the 18-minute mark. Feathered back in by Hickman. Auburn moves it back in, trying to get into South Carolina territory. Brown getting after this one and shooting one. Saved by Gradsky again. But that rebound loose ends up below the goal line, and it ends up in another Auburn opportunity. Working this one ahead, they'll hold that one in. Nice play there. Firm on the stick is Callahan Crowley. South Carolina, Nick Pizzo racing down that far side. He's been another one of the more mobile Gamecocks. A shot just thundered off the boot there. Hayden Harris got that one down low. He's able to make the save, but he didn't know it. Wheeling up at the point. Dave Murray's shot knocked down in the slot area. Pizzo can't get a handle on it. 3-on-2. Back come the Tigers. Long shot there, knocked down at the faceoff dot. And Pizzo shoots this one off the boards. And it's going to be picked up here. Colin Anderson might have a chance. And just coming out to play that puck was Hayden Harris. A gutsy play, but he committed to it and he made it. Brandon Weiss now, 1 goal on the evening. Shooting one, and that one just past the face mask of Kyle Gradsky. Chipping back in. John Allen able to keep that one in and lofted back out. And it's going to be another chance here. Anderson going again here. Shooting one and another save there. Rebound followed up by Siegfried, and he can't put it home. 17 to go. Colin Anderson. Now they go end to end. Blake Drummond and flipping this one back out on the icing. We will have a stoppage in play here. 17:03 to go. And things have opened up wide open in period number 2. Colin Anderson, wow.
A lot of action from the get-go, Dillon. A lot of back and forth here. Shots on both sides, both ends. Both goalies being tested here in the first 3 minutes of the period. And boy, Auburn's goalie has come up big so far this game. And another example there on that offensive break for South Carolina.
Anderson boxed up for so many weeks with that injury, unable to do anything. You can tell he is happy to be back out here on the ice. He is ecstatic. Getting a couple of shots on goal. And now another chance through center ice here. Colin Tate sees that one sticked off and into the near side. Alex Siegfried for South Carolina. Able to work it into the zone. Top of the circle. He pulls up and shoots one. Just a nice save there by Hayden Harris. Siegfried didn't get a lot on it. Harris makes the stop regardless. Hammered back in there by Brian Soar. A little less than hammered as that puck rolls in. And now a nice diving play. Losing the feet there out from under him. Avery Prune's going to regroup in South Carolina territory. Move it over to Brian Soar. Soar shuffles backwards, puts this one up off the glass, past the official off the skate there, and picked up by the Gamecocks, headed into offensive territory. Here they come with speed. A shot at the top of the circle was kicked out there. Harris able to see that one into the far side corner. 16:17 to go. How do you like that one? Brian Soar at the stripe, throws this one maybe off of official, and back in to get that one is Blanding. Landing
Wow.
up. Big
Huge
collision
hit.
there. Right in front of that glass there. And still they go after it. Corey Hawkinson getting involved, I believe, with Jacob Blanding. Auburn not afraid to throw their weight around here. Ben Smith dumps in for South Carolina. Hawkinson in after it. Hawkinson again collides in that corner. It's Blanding once more. Puck squirts out into the slot area, and Auburn, in a flash of white and orange, move this one into South Carolina territory. Turning shot as they pull up at the top of the circle, lifted up off the glass. Soar, dangerous pass, goes far side off the dasher. Picked up there by Ben Smith in one-handed swat. In behind Hayden Harris's net. On the reverse, picked up by Thomas Creech. He's got an assist so far tonight. His first point of the season. Hawkinson out of danger here. He falls down and Nick Peters bails him out. And now it's going to be a chance, almost. They're working free. Peters recovers and swats this puck all the way out into neutral ice. Trying to go away here now. Dillon Jacob on the forecheck. Jake Tenji off the bench. Leaves this one for Jacob. Backhands that one in. Tenji in after it. He collides with a man, and Tenji's got the puck with Smith in front. Tenji looking to go there for Smith. It goes out to the back end. Hickman tries to play this one low for Tenji, and it goes off some sticks in the slot area. Auburn moving back out again. It's Carlson. Carlson taken down. One hand on the stick. Epic footwork there by Carlson. And now Mecca gets this one through. A turnover in the slot area. Swiveled back through. Duncan Hickman's going to have to play this one up to Bobby Van Duzen, but the Tigers hold it in. Left on for Duncan Hickman. Up off the boards. Jake Tenji can't get to it. Now another chance for Auburn. Shooting one, save made. Rebound comes out. Oh, and a big save there. Lunging out with the glove is Kyle Gradsky. Able to keep it 2-1 for South Carolina. Still in front of the net. Nick Peters after it. Auburn upping the pressure here. Jake Tenji with it for the Gamecocks. 14:20 to go. South Carolina moves it ahead. Kyle Gradsky with a huge save. And the Gamecocks translate that into momentum here. It's a hit there along the near side. Bobby Van Duzen goes down. Auburn trying to regroup here. It looked like they had the best of South Carolina, but not to be. Bringing it back on now. Brandon Weiss for Auburn down that right side. Pulling up at the top of the circle as he does so often. Away from Ronan Egan. Now back for Peters. Taken on by Bobby Van Duzen. 13:50 to go. Van Duzen towards the goal. Lowers the shoulder, goes in behind the net. Van Duzen. Drummond wants it at the point. They swivel it back down low. Mecca out of the corner. Loses his feet out from under him. And Auburn brings this one ahead as far as the blue line. Knocked down. Can't be kept in there by Ronan Egan. They'll blow this one down off sides. It looked like he got control of it on the neutral zone side of the blue line, and he never brought it back in. Offside called either way, and we get a stoppage and a breather here. 13:33 to go in the period. Still 2-1, thanks to Kyle Gradsky.
Boy, oh boy, what a save by Kyle Gradsky. The young goalie for South Carolina coming up big. We talked about it before in rebound control in both of these goalies. The puck's bouncing out into the slot a lot, and so if more players crash the slot, there would be more chances on net. And Auburn crashed the slot, chance on net, and great recovery by Gradsky.
Weiss brings this one out right. Another shot, another big glove save there by Gradsky. In and out just as quickly. Unable to get a handle on it. Centering pass there. Brown is stopped not once but twice and still is loose in the key. Just out top of that blue paint. South Carolina brings it on. Blake Drummond advances it. A 3-on-2 for South Carolina. Smith centers one. In and out of the glove again. Harrison, now that puck loose in front. They'll work it free. Hawkinson unable to pick it up. End to end we go. Gamecocks break that one up in the neutral zone. They'll bring it back in. It's Hawkinson with Powderly on the far side. Hawkinson backhands one, and that one may have been caught by the shoulder of Harris. And again, a whistle, and the net has come off. We've seen a lot of that more in the last 3 games, and I think the entire first half of the season. Goaltenders making saves and knocking the net off in the process. A whistle and a face-off here. 12:54 to go in the period.
Aggression picking up, and of course on cue as I start talking up, Kyle Gradsky comes up big with 2 more saves for the Gamecocks and led to an offensive chance, and a good chance there, and went astray when that goal went off its hinges.
Pruden sees this one come back in. 12:48 to go in the period. Sword's gonna have to drop back as back the other way come the Tigers. And Sword backhands this one back out. They'll work it back in. Offensive zone chance here for Auburn. Pruden unable to pick this one out of his own skates. He'll seize this one out past Colin Anderson. Dave Murray in after it. In and around. Dillon Jacob on the forecheck now. 13 forwards, 6 defensemen for South Carolina tonight. Alan Serwa made a note of that one. Usually rolling with 12 forwards and 7 defensemen. A rule that we locked down to either this year or last year. You can dress, either 13 and 7, or 13 and 6 or 12 and 7. that extra man. And now a chance in front, another save there by Hayden Harris. Dillon Jacobs shooting that one down low. Harris gets the pads on it. Out through center ice. Here they come again. Another shot goes just wide. Big opportunity there. They come off the stick of Beach. Now again a centering pass. A shot upstairs. Off the shoulder of Gradsky, and we'll play some pinball with that in the air. A high stick finally called here. And the faceoff will come outside. 11:41 to go in period number 2. We approach the halfway point in this hockey game. Shots 21-16 in favor of South Carolina. The opportunities are there, Zach. The opportunities are there.
Well, Dillon, you asked me in the intermission report whether you thought Harris would pick up the pace in this second period, and boy, has he. 21 shots by the Gamecocks overall, and the only one that managed to squeak in was on a penalty shot. So, whoa,
big collision there. Thomas Moore lifted out of his skates. And we've got a delayed penalty here for that one. Jake Tenji not happy about the call. We will sort it out here. Moore had the puck. It seemed.
Well, the aggression has certainly picked up here in the second period and the latter half of the first period, and a couple huge hits that we've seen so far this game. And boy, was that a big one.
Avery Pruden's going to sit for a pair. The official penalty has not come through the system yet, but it will be Avery Pruden in the box. We can see that for sure. Another power play opportunity for Auburn. Only their second of the game.
South Carolina's discipline has been a lot better this game than prior games this season with only the 2 penalties, but big penalty kill coming here, down 1. Being down 1 and being down 2 is a big difference, Dillon.
Shoveled back out. Solid defensive play there. They'll regroup at center ice, even drifting back into their own end. Watched closely there by Nick Pizzo. Back they work it in front of the Gamecock bench and now in front of their own. Here comes Auburn with 11 to go in the period. Watched by Evan Hoey. 2 Gamecocks on that side of the ice. A nice collision there by Evan Hoey. They come together with Brandon Weiss. That puck goes off the outside of the cage. They'll reverse. Back out to the point. Tyler Brinkman to his captain, Brown. Brown for Brinkman. Out at that center point. They want it. They'll go far side. Hopes of getting it back. They see this puck back down low to Chris Hutter. Hutter battles with Evan Hoey. Brian Soar, the lone defenseman, in front of that for South Carolina. All 4 Gamecock penalty kills on the far side of the ice and below the faceoff dots. They somehow worked this puck back out. Ronan Egan in after it for South Carolina. He's going to have to get through Brandon Weiss, and he can't do it. And now a chance here. Gamecocks get it out. Short-handed, back they come. A 2-on-2 developing here. Ronan Egan goes out to the backhand, cutting through the slot area. Almost a chance there. Ronan Egan makes something out of absolutely nothing from his own end into an offensive zone chance, short-handed. 50 seconds to go on the power play for Auburn. They'll work this one out. Got a bunch of guys caught in behind the play. Gamecocks having to pick up their sticks. And now moving on through center is Brown. Brown along that near side, shooting one off the crossbar. Brown rings one here, looking for his second of the game. He beat Gradsky, but he didn't beat the goalpost. Back and ahead over center ice. Gamecocks still short-handed, trying to get fresh bodies on. Auburn keeps the pressure on. Blake Robeson shooting one. That one caught the stick of Duncan Hickman. He goes down to 1. Now the puck squirts out in front. Another save by Gradsky, and another one. Rebound is stopped. Awkward bounce there off the boards. Gradsky shuts him down twice. And a face-off with 9:47 to go here in the second.
Gradsky coming up big again, but before that, huge chance for Auburn. A nice shot, hit the crossbar, and Gradsky got a little lucky there. This game remains 2-1.
There's a reason Chandler Brown has 12 goals on the season now. He goes upstairs, Gradsky goes down, and just a fraction of an inch, and we're looking at a 3-1 hockey game here.
And before that, we saw great defense by Egan to lead to an offensive shorthanded chance for South Carolina, but shut down again.
Awkward bounce comes out through center ice, and Mecca takes a man down. It's going to be a 2-on-1 for South Carolina. Pizzo with back checkers and a save made there by Harris. A solid puck luck there by South Carolina as Mecca gets crunched behind the goal. They'll knock the net off again. Mecca's going to have to pick his stick up, and that'll do it for the penalty. Gamecocks narrowly escape without a power play goal against here. 9:28 to go in the second period. First game of the SEC tournament for South Carolina. Not the first game altogether, as we mentioned earlier on, a 14-0 win. Georgia taking Tennessee. And we still got 2 more games coming up on the docket tonight. Arkansas, ranked number 4, and Florida, number 5, will face off later on. Ole Miss takes on Vanderbilt as that one, pretty much at the same time. 2 rinks here in Nashville. Big chance in front there for South Carolina, comes to nothing. And another shot there. Zach Weeks sends that one wide of the goal. 23 shots listed up on that shot counter for South Carolina. Only one goal. They'll pick this one off at center. It's Peters moving out to Alex Siegfried. Siegfried rides the circle around, goes back down low. Under that, he gets bodied there. Solid shoulder check. Nick Peters got the worst of that one. He's going to go back to the bench here. Peters, as Alex Siegfried rather, shaking up on the play. He'll be evaluated on the bench there. Duncan Hickman, meanwhile, keeps this one in. Powderly has it. Powderly in the slot, shooting one, and a big save there by Harris. That puck went just wide. Another man taken down. Hawkinson got to stick up high. Play continues. Hawkinson still after it. Now they'll whistle this one down. Alan Surwa irate from the bench. We will have a penalty here with 8:43 to go in the second period. Just got to figure out the booking on this one. And the collision there by Alex Siegfried, or on Alex Siegfried rather, got the shoulder of Loic Harriso right to the jaw. A bit scary there.
Yeah, Siegfried trying to make a play for his team, moving behind the net, but had his head down moving behind the net. And when you have your head down in those scenarios, you have a defender coming in from the other way. It's a dangerous play and a big hit, clean hit by Auburn. And the aggression continues to grow here, Dillon.
No penalties handed out on this one. They'll work it out of the Auburn zone. 2-on-2 as they try to step around. Hoey rubbed out there. Nice play by Evan Hoey to get to the boards, and offsides is called. Got a little over anxious there. Another stoppage here with 8:26 to go in the period. And while we're on the topic of collisions to the head area, had a conversation with Alan Surwa before the game about his time in the ECHL and some of his brushes with concussions. He told me the worst one happened in Columbia, or in South Carolina, I should say. Took a shoulder to the head, unconscious for, I believe he said about a couple of minutes, 5-10 minutes. He forgot some key details. He actually forgot that his wife was about to have a baby, but able to reclaim his memory there, and he is, as he says, he is fine ever since. But the concussions, no small issue here at any level of hockey. As we've seen Zach Lynch suffering one just last weekend, as this one comes in for another icing. I spent the entire play talking about something that wasn't the game. My apologies. We'll have another icing here and a chance for me to ramble some more.
Yeah, and Alan Surwa's experience with the concussion certainly could have played a part in Lynch not playing today. Playing it safe with Lynch. Pretty scary injury against Kennesaw State, taking it to the back of the head and lying in the goal for a little bit, but definitely Surwa playing it safe here.
Point shot here goes wide. A rebound off the boards and another save there by Kyle Gratzky. Big chance by Adam Carlson, picking it up off the boards. A lot of rebounds. They go in behind the goal and pop just back out. You got a pinball machine here in the slot at the Ford Ice Center here in Nashville. Stopped by Gratzky. Keeps it a 2-1 game. Long shot by Hoey, easily sticked away. Over to the stick of Tyler Brinkman. Brinkman behind his own goal. Watched by Pizzo and Dave Murray. Watched for quite some time here. Brinkman still doesn't like what he sees. Finally elects to move this one, and Dave Murray in after for South Carolina. Big hit there by Evan Hoey along the near side wall, picked up by Ronan Egan. Is that puck? Moved back out, past the stick of Pizzo, and he gets on his horse and gets after it. Nick Pizzo almost losing his stick there along that net side. And Pizzo still in after it. Touched at the line by Hoey. Gamecocks keep it in. Hoey picks up in the slot. Trying to skate there. But some solid defensive work by the Tigers. And this puck just skitters in through the slot area. Blockered away there by Hayden Harris. Couldn't see if he got a solid touch on that one. And another hit here. Gamecocks picking it up here. Dave Murray after that hit. This puck backhanded up off the boards. And a bouncing puck escapes Brian Soar. Auburn in for the line change. Soar goes unpunished for that defensive error. And here comes Jake Tenji. Fakes the shot. Drops it off for Murray. And this one's sticked into the near side. Tenji back on to get it for South Carolina. At the top of the circle. Gets it back. Jake Tenji. Backhands went over for Soar. Soar drifting down low. Shooting one. And leaked off of Harris there. Tenji in after it again. He's taken down. Play continues. Tenji in after the puck. Jake Tenji. How many times have we said his name now? This puck squirts out in front of. Save made by Harris and gets the glove down on top of it. Dave Murray crashing the net for a rebound. And just by a fraction of an inch, Hayden Harris slaps that glove down on top of the puck. We got a face-off here. 6:20 to go in the second period.
Jake Tenji is just trying to get something going for his team. He's being absolutely electric, full of energy out there. And you saw him with a nice little move to keep the puck in the offensive zone. And then when he gave it away, he got it right back and set up another chance. And then almost drew a penalty there falling down. Nothing called, but some great play from Jake Tingy so far this game.
Tingy always able to lead by example for his Gamecock team. We're talking about around tryouts, about how many guys Alan Sir was able to have on the team. He made a note to mention that Jake Tingy originally was not on the team at his first round of cuts back in freshman year, but due to some injuries and some line shuffling, Tingy eventually found his way into the fold. Had, I believe, 21 points in 25 games sophomore year. Cemented himself as one of the leaders here for this Gamecock squad. And now he sits with that C, or stands, I should say, with that C on his chest. 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points this season. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. I wrote that down. I meant to write that for Bobby Van Dusen. My apologies. 8 and 9 right next to each other on the score sheet. Jake Tingy all over the ice in Auburn, as he is for every game this season.
And he has earned every bit of that captain badge that he wears. And he's certainly playing with energy and being a leader to this young South Carolina team right now.
He plays with a sense of urgency that when your captain plays with that kind of an urgency, it trickles down through the rest of the lineup. And that's how we were able to see the turnaround here from the first into the second. More opportunities here for the Gamecocks, due mostly in part to Jake Tingy and the way he's been all over this ice here. 6-12. This puck goes back in, chased down by Callahan Crowley. Picked up, though, by Tingy again. Loose in front. Mecca almost able to get a stick on that one. Poked past Brian Soar. Kept in on the backhand there by Van Dusen. Only briefly, though. Worked back out to Chris Hutter. And now Weiss has it. Pulls up for a shot, and that one just past the glove there. Kyle Gradsky. A long shot knocked down in front. Whacked out by Brian Soar as far as center ice. Callahan Crowley sees that one goes past him. On the forecheck, Van Dusen. They'll move this one back out to Brown. Weiss gets it back and was knocked off his stick here. At center ice, they'll work it through. Brown gets it back. Fights off a check. Centering pass and a shot. Never got on goal. Gradsky still pushes over, able to make a save. Loose behind the goal. They work it out in front again. Poked off the blue paint. Work back out. It's Crowley. Center point. Drags away from Bobby Van Dusen. They'll work it back down low. Too far for Weiss. And Pruden works it back for Brian Soar, who rips this one out through the atmosphere. Blocked at center ice. And Auburn works this one back in on Gradsky for not a face-off. His communication there. Auburn still in after it. Gamecocks in the middle of a line change. They got to hustle back. 5 to go in the period. Soar again. Goes to the air. Yes, indeed. That sky pass. Glove down again. Bodied at open ice there by Van Dusen. Puck picked up by Mecca. Cam Mecca against 2 Tigers. Can't drag it towards the forehand. Mecca centering pass. Just goes through a sea of skates. And now they're working again off that dasher. Still in after it. Backhanded through. Swatted down. And on the pressure is Bobby Van Dusen. Near side, Weiss backhanded. Now Nick Peters back on the ice for the Gamecocks. Peters and Hickman. Siegfried still on the ice after taking a nasty collision there early in this period. And then work it back. Duncan Hickman fakes the slap shot. Moves it back down low. Bounced off a skate. Picked up in the slot there. Zach Weeks in after it. He is met by 2 Tigers and 1 Alex Siegfried working that puck out, but not over the blue line. And another collision there. Duncan Hickman picked up again. They'll work it back in. Flipped all the way up in the air. Steve Varone looks like he was going to have a chance there. This puck bounces back down. The Gamecocks move it off the boards, and Peters goes for a rough ride in the corner. Tumbling down, Alex Siegfried. Steve Varone again works into the slot area. Can't get it on the tape of Adam Carlson. And going down again is Hickman. Carlson picks it up. He's knocked down, and we're going to have a penalty here. Duncan Hickman, a shot. Right around in front. They score on the rebound. Hickman was going to the box for a delayed penalty. Auburn took advantage of the chaos. They put that one in. It's 3-1 Tigers. 3:51 to go here in period number 2.
Yeah, a lot of players tumbling around in that zone, and players falling to the ice. Certainly something that South Carolina has seen this season. A couple of goals coming late in the Kennesaw State games due to defensemen falling down on the rush. And here we've talked about it all game. Those rebound control by the goalies, and that one bounced out. First shot saved by Gradsky and knocked in on the second shot to make this game 3-1. An even bigger hill to climb for this South Carolina team.
That's got to be the word here to everyone playing on these rinks in the next few games here for the duration of the tournament. Really, the boards in behind, at least the goal to our right, not so much the goal to our left. Boards extremely bouncy, reminiscent of the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Goal scored by Jack Driggs, Loic Harriso, and Callahan Crowley going to get the assist on that one. Driggs, the goal scorer for Auburn. Their 3rd of the night, and Hickman will still be boxed on a minor penalty for tripping. The Gamecocks are shorthanded here, even though Auburn scored on a delayed penalty here. We'll have to get that sorted out. As this puck drifts out of South Carolina territory. Meanwhile, it's poked back in. Nick Pizzo has it. He's got Ronan Egan headed towards the goal. Shorthanded chance again. Pizzo shoots one, save made by Harris with 3:20 to go in the period.
Harris has been every bit as good as he was in the first period. 25 shots against and only 1 in. Harris playing really well, and has been a nightmare for the South Carolina offense.
When you got a goaltender that's as good as Hayden Harris is, the Gamecocks try to do what they did to the goaltender for Kennesaw State, Luke Thurston, get screens in front, tips and deflections, take his eyes away from him. They couldn't do it effectively in that game. And if they want any chance of moving on here in this tournament, they're going to have to take away the vision of Hayden Harris. Meanwhile, on the power play, Auburn works it back down a little. Brown works it again down below the goal line, popped up in the air, and Evan Hoey in after for South Carolina. Brown gets it back, though. Work it back out to the point. Long shot, knocked down in front. Hoey's got it for the Gamecocks. They'll move it back out. Short-handed, the Gamecocks not afraid to take chances. Long wrister, punch back. Hayden Harris sees that one into the corner. Van Duzen looks on as Hoey into the corner for South Carolina. They'll work this one back out. Brown on the power play gets caught up in the official skates, trying to step over top of that puck. Bit of a lucky break for South Carolina. That allows Brian Soar to make a clean line change. At the blue line, back at the center point, shot blocked there. Tyler Brinkman attempting to get that one to the net. Jacob Blanding takes over and sees this one back in. At the blue line, watched there by Hoey, getting active with the stick. Corey Hawkinson. They'll bring it back in now. Far side they come. Again, riding that faceoff dot. A chance. Collision in front. Drummond goes down. Net stays on. Play stops. As we try to figure this one out. A collision, the official signal that this puck will come all the way back out with 2:07 to go in period number 2. 3-1 hockey game. I guess the net got knocked off again. It's hard to tell because it's only a matter of inches. But that's enough. Net knocked off. The faceoff comes outside.
Yeah, and once again, South Carolina with a shorthanded opportunity on this power play, and they have certainly played aggressive on the penalty kill so far today.
Bouncing puck played through. Brian Sort directing traffic in that neutral zone. Not sure if you can see from up here, but as that puck rolled back around, he gave he gave Pruden the finger. No, not that one. He pointed back towards the slot area to make sure Avery Pruden knew that there was a backdoor chance, and they were able to shut that one down here. As this puck caught some glass, goes out of the zone. And another faceoff here in South Carolina territory with 1 second remaining on the Duncan Hickman penalty. Again, Hickman boxed 2 minutes for a tripping minor. As, again, we'll have to talk to someone in the penalty box in this intermission to see why that delayed penalty turned into a penalty after Auburn scored. But still, Hickman has it at the circle, shooting one off a leg there. Dave Murray's got it. Under 2 to go here in the second period. Gamecocks trail by 2. Work back on. Dave Murray, he's got Hickman down low. Gamecocks with 3 defensemen out there. Hickman, now Ronan Egan filling in for him at the point. Brian Soar at the center lane. And they'll work it back down again. Dave Murray looks towards the slot, finds Pizzo, tries to stuff in that one loose again. Follow-up chance there by Dave Murray, couldn't be put home. All the way back down. Hickman going to stay on the ice for South Carolina. Icing called here. And now we will get line changes for the boys in garnet in black. Minute 16 to go in the second. Faceoff comes all the way back down, and a goal at the end of the period would be huge for either club. 1:16 to go. Shots 26 for South Carolina, 19 for Auburn. As off the faceoff, this one comes top of the circle. Worked off the glass into the feet of Brian Soar and backhanded back in. Curling at the blue line, Corey Hawkinson. Tigers move D to D. Ben Smith on the forecheck. Puck bounces out. Nice stick play there. They'll work it back through. Long shot gloved and held there by Kyle Gradsky. Steven Verone denied of what would have been his 7th goal of the season. He scored against South Carolina in their last meeting. And with 59.1 here, another faceoff to the right of Zach. Kyle Gradsky, Zach Lynch, not in goal tonight. I could have just rolled with that. I just could have rolled that into, hey, Zach, what's going on? Brown on the faceoff. He gets waved out. And coming in to fill in for him will be Brandon Weiss. Weiss loses the draw. Hawkinson stayed on it. Hickman fanned on the attempt to clear it there. Hickman goes down. Puck comes back up. and they'll move it back around. Ben Smith on the backhand serves this one. A bouncing puck, fortunate there for Ben Smith. Comes over the stick of Chandler Brown. They'll wrap this one back in neutral territory. Back in for Hutter. Hutter pulls up the blue line, watched there by Corey Hawkinson. They'll try to pick it out of the skates, and Brown's got it. Moves around Hickman, but he gets separated from the puck. 35 to go here in the period. Hawkinson moves it out for Ben Smith. Smith in after it. He's got Soar joining the rush as well as Powderly. Drops for Powderly in the slot, shoots one down low. Soar's a chance there, and laying out was Harris. He squeezes that pad against the goalpost for a whistle, and now more. Soar takes a man down after the play. Brian Soar with 22.5 to go here, mixing it up physically right at the end of the period after being denied. Frustration mounting here for Brian Soar and his Gamecocks.
Golden grade A opportunity for South Carolina there on the rush. And a great pass from Powderly to set up Soar on a good shot, but Soar couldn't get it cleanly, and a good save by Harris again. And Soar obviously frustrated along with the rest of the South Carolina team. Takes down a man behind the net. It doesn't look like we will see.
Yeah, Soar's get out of the box. Brian Soar will sit for 2 minutes. At least the final 22 and a half here of period number 2. If Auburn scores, Soar will come out of the box. But you don't need me to tell you that. Although we have had some confusion as far as the penalties and manpower here in this period. Again, we'll try to get that cleared up here in the second intermission. Evan Hoey in after this one. Final 15 of the period. Hoey digs for it. The Auburn power play, all 5 guys on that far side of the ice. Still, they can't move it. Soon the official might blow a whistle as one guy goes down. Hoey scooting on the seat of his pants with the puck. Ingenuity there by Evan Hoey. They'll work it back out, and that'll do it. Would have been a great opportunity back the other way, short-handed for the Gamecocks, but the clock hits zeros. 3-1 the score after 2. When we come back, it will be the second intermission here on the Capital City Sports Network presented by SGTV. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. This is the second intermission report here on the Capital City Sports Network. Gamecocks trail 3-1 after 2 periods of play. They outshoot Auburn 26-19 through 40 minutes, but still trailing on the scoreboard. And momentum that was there at the end of the first, not quite there at the end of the second.
Yeah. Not as many offensive chances there in the second. A couple good chances, but Harris has been incredible. And unfortunate for the Gamecocks, they've had to play Kennesaw State and Sam Thurston in their last game, who is a incredible, fantastic goalie, and now come off him to come face Harris. And Harris has been really good, 25 saves. And the Gamecocks really have to pick up their offense if they want to get back in this one.
Looks like South Carolina looking for those perfect opportunities, those perfect passes that are right, clear, tape to tape. And those aren't coming. So when those aren't coming, you just got to start throwing things on goal and just see what happens. We saw brief periods of that throughout the first and second period, but the game plan a little hard to find and a little hard to stick to here. The power play has really dried up. The Gamecocks had more opportunities in that period. Auburn had, I believe, eight penalty minutes in the first, and we're waiting to get the official count here after the second period. But special teams could very well be the difference maker here in the third.
Yeah, and South Carolina has done an adequate job at staying disciplined. They've definitely done better than they have earlier in the season, but still, penalty kill is crucial, and they need to do a better job. Hopefully, stay out of the penalty box this period, and we'll see what happens.
Kyle Gratzky's had his moments here in this game, but the Gamecocks need him to be a brick wall here in the third period if they have any hopes of moving on to the second round and avoiding a repeat of last season's early round exit. That'll do it for the second intermission. We'll come back. It'll be the third period, probably the biggest third period all season, here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Stay with us. All right, welcome back here for the third period here on the Capital City Sports Network. Gamecocks trailing the Auburn Tigers by a score of 3-1. Brian Soar still in the penalty box for a little over a minute and a half here to start the period. Offensive chance for Auburn again to cash in and make that a 4-1 lead. And as we did or did not mention in the intermission report, we talked about the penalty to Duncan Hickman. Play was allowed to continue because it is a rule at this level of play on a delayed penalty. If the non-penalized team scores a goal, the penalty still stands. So they can score a goal to go ahead and still get a power play afterwards, which is exactly what happened to Auburn there. Thankful to the other people we have up here in the booth with us who are able to tell us that, as well as you fans responding in the comments section. We appreciate that. As they rotate in here on the power play. Back out center point Brinkman, and work it back down top of the circles, and then again on that goal line. Fought off there. They still get it back, chased into the corner. Gamecocks have it up off the glass, chipped all the way back down. A clear here. That'll knock about 15 or 20 seconds off the power play. And getting that much closer to Brian Soar being out of the penalty box. Near side, they work it on the breakout. Watched by Ronan Egan. Playing a lot of penalty kill minutes tonight for South Carolina. Brown brings it on here. Offsides called. Again, it's different. You can't hear the whistle from up here. You just have to judge based on the body language of the players. Offsides is called here. 48 seconds into the period. No score so far. Still 50 seconds to go on the penalty to Brian Soar, which was, I believe, a rough. And we have a singular quote from Alan Serwa here from that second intermission. Do not pass up the shot. Any shot is a good shot at this point for South Carolina. Crashed in it for rebounds. We've seen both goaltenders kicking pucks back out into the slot. Either one of these teams gets a man in the slot, they're going to get a rebound chance. Wraparound chance there, and Gradsky seals off that post. Picked up and moved all the way back out. Fantastic opportunity there for Adam Carlson of Auburn. 52 penalty minutes on the season, leading the team there. Had a goal against South Carolina in their last game. Still waiting to get on the score sheet tonight. Big opportunity there. And now as this one's turned over at center ice, they turn it back over. And now Carlson's got it again. Top of the circles, wrists this one back in. Picked up by Hickman and wrapped back around. Held in at the point there. Watched closely there by Jake Tenji. He'll swat this one down, try to move it back out. Chipped out in the head. And again, a shorthanded chance. Now 2-on-1. Shooting one is Van Duzen. Blocker save, rebound. They score! Ben Smith crashes the net, gets the rebound, and the Gamecocks make it a 3-2 game. 18-12 to go in the period.
The ideal start for South Carolina there, Dillon, and we've talked about it all game. Those rebounds bouncing out into the slot, and if someone's there, then there's the chance to put it back in. Goalies struggling to contain that first shot, and good hustle by South Carolina to follow, and we got a 2-3 game, Dillon.
Ben Smith, goal number 5 on the season. That patented one-knee celebration after the goal. And Ben Smith scoring the clutch goals, the critical time here for South Carolina. And again, as we said, get pucks on net, good things will happen. Van Duzen gets the shot off. Blocker save by Harris results in the Ben Smith goal. And I must correct myself, the penalty had expired by then. They were back at 5-on-5. Auburn moves it back out. Brand new hockey game here. Almost. 3-2 Auburn leads. They'll wheel this one back in. They got a spark in their step here. Centering pass, shooting one, a big diving block there by Duncan Hickman. Play is whistled down here. We got a stoppage. And again, the net knocked off its moorings. That's going to have to start being the first thing we look at. Duncan Hickman, fantastic sliding block. Got to think that puck was headed for the back of the net. Gradsky hadn't quite slid from his right to his left yet. 17:46 to go in period number 3. Recently, a 3-2 game thanks to Ben Smith.
Yeah, and once again, that puck bouncing out off the goalie, and a good chance for Auburn. And Hickman laying his body on the line to make that block.
On the back end, they'll wrist this one back in. Squirts out through slot territory, and Ben Smith still on the ice for South Carolina. Smith wrists this one ahead off a stick. Pizzo's going to direct this one between his own legs, and back they come. Another collision sends a man down. Out at center ice, off the stick of Smith. Out to the far side, they'll pick it up. Loic Harriso advances. Back check by Smith negates that opportunity, and Soar taken to the boards there by Stephen Verone. Smith comes back to help. Just about 3 minutes into this third period. Gamecocks with a huge penalty kill and then a goal. And that's how we sit here. Nick Pizzo in after it. Up off the glass, Pizzo able to hold that in with his back. Comes back out to the point here. Curling back off for Dave Murray. Ian Powderly team up on that one. Powderly shields his man off the puck, and now it comes all the way back around. Ronan Egan after for the Gamecocks. Egan with Powderly digging. He's got Pizzo rotating. Powderly loses the puck. He's going to look down low. He's pinned into the glass. Somebody's without a stick. It's one of the Auburn defenders. Now a chance. They're shooting one, and a big glove save there. No angle shot by Ronan Egan. And Hayden Harris reaches up with that big orange trapper and snares that puck for a face-off with 16:41 to go.
Quick reaction there from Hayden Harris. Close, near shot, and great reaction, great glove save by Harris. Face off now in the offensive zone for South Carolina.
No shot, a bad shot at this point, but if the Gamecocks get that puck lower, get it off the pads, they get a bigger rebound, a bigger opportunity, rather than a cover and a face-off. Now shot by Anderson, blocked in the slot. Rebound picked up by Powderly. Another chance poked out by Egan. Still they can't get it. Anderson whiffed on that chance. And now Auburn brings it back 3 men strong. Down that far side, watched by Brian Soar. Centering pass knocked out of the way there by Avery Pruden. Brown's got it. Cycles this one back in, picked up by Brian Soar of South Carolina. Soar up off the glass. This puck staying in play. Taken down is Powderly down to one knee, and they'll regroup for Auburn here. Wrist it out into no man's land. Nobody really wants to get after it. And now Brian Soar for South Carolina back in behind his goaltender Gradsky. Soar up now, losing his skates though. Colin Anderson. Anderson blows a tire up the top of the circle. Tipped in front, and they score. Auburn gets it right back. Brandon Weiss. 2 goals in this hockey game now. Auburn regains that 2-goal lead. It's 4-2.
And once again, we see a South Carolina D-man fall down in their zone and lead to a chance for Auburn. Unfortunate break for the Gamecocks, but now the game is 4-2 and a 2-goal deficit again for South Carolina.
Still large amount of time here for either team to take this game and run with it. 4-2 the score, 15:54 left here in the third period. Shots on goal 29-20 in favor of South Carolina. Again, just getting that puck towards the net seems to pay off for both teams here. Back the other way comes Blake Drummond. Drummond's going to wrist one. That one blocked. It goes in behind. And stumbling down towards the ice there is Cam Mecca, but he still got the puck. Mecca takes a man down. It's Carlson. Puck comes free. Play continues. Tenji in after it. Back out to the point. Held in there. And now a late whistle. Hoey had already gotten that shot off. And we've got our camera right here on the blue line. Couldn't tell if that puck came out. The official has a much better view than we do. They'll whistle this one down on the offsides. And a face-off outside the Auburn zone. Down again is this puck. Off a few skates through neutral territory. Van Duzen pokes this one back. He's going to get right back after it after the touch by Jake Tenji. Van Duzen into an open space. Pinching in his Mecca. Mecca hard on the body there. Down low for Van Duzen. Centering pass just off the stick of Jake Tenji and a crunching hit there. Follow-up chance. He scores! Oh. On the rebound, Evan Hoey puts it home, and the Gamecocks are back within 1.
Absolute cannon howitzer of a shot there by Evan Hoey. That one made its way through a crowd of people out in front of the net and hit about 2 bars there.
Somehow Evan Hoey went top shelf by going down low. That puck took a crazy bounce in off the goal post. And the Gamecocks back within 1 here. We're going to go back and forth here in this third period. Do we have Sandstorm?
We do have
We've got Sandstorm here at the Ford Ice Center here in Nashville. 4-3 the score here. Lot of time remaining. Neither one of these teams willing to yield yet. We've got more conversations. The official sorting out probably the assists on that one. McPease is going to come over to help out. Certainly coming off the stick of Evan Hoey from the point, and trying to see if that puck was tipped in front on its way towards the goal.
Boy, oh boy, what a shot. That was one of the hardest shots we've seen all game.
Evan Hoey, electric here. I told him I'd use that one. Evan Hoey using the electric pads, electric muscle stimulation on his shoulder to try and heal up before the game, using it on the bus, charging up, as it were.
Well, we've seen him knock panes of glass out of the sides of the rink, and now using his power for good here with a slap shot goal in net.
We'll probably never let him live that one down. We got another face-off, another whistle, another stoppage. We'll see. Hoey's in the box now. After scoring the goal, Evan Hoey's going to sit for a pair. And it looks like he will be the only one. Gamecocks will have a penalty to kill. And we'll wait to see what the official ruling on Hoey is. He's going to get 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Evan Hoey, bit too ferocious on the celebration there. Gamecocks down a man for the foreseeable future. Below the goal line, Duncan Hickman works it back out. They'll keep it back in. Wristed along. Tap back. Colin Tate, they'll work it back out. Off the boards. Nice clear there by Ronan Egan of South Carolina.
Another aggressive forecheck there on the penalty kill.
Absolutely.
We've seen that all game from South Carolina.
It's always been Pizzo and it's always been Egan. Egan's got it here, shorthanded, curling back out. They'll work it back into neutral territory. It'll be Hickman and Soar, the two defensemen, back on this penalty kill for South Carolina. Pizzo drops it off for Ronan Egan down that right side. Egan curls up at the face-off dot there, lost the puck. And the Tigers work it back out. Pizzo back on for Soar, and another penalty here. And Ronan Egan's going to sit 2 for a trip. Gamecocks will go down 2 men. 5-on-3 for Auburn coming up here for the next minute 12 seconds with 14:45 to go in the third period.
Yeah, and this is where that unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration really hurts the team. You're down to a 5-on-3 now. 1-goal game. You need to get back in the game, and big penalty kill here for South Carolina to try and keep themselves in this one.
Absolutely no wiggle room here for either team. South Carolina knocking on the door, and they shoot themselves in the foot here a little bit, giving Auburn a chance to extend their lead back to 2. Brown at the point, cycles it back down low. Hash marks, it comes back to Brown. Brown pulls up, finally shoots one, knocked down in front. Rebound save made there by Gratzky, may have gone off the outside of the cage. In the corner there, Hickman takes a hit there by Brown. They work it back out, and just under a stick there, it seeps out towards center ice. Brown's gonna have to pick it up again for Auburn. Brown quarterbacking this power play, takes it out wide on Jake Tenji. Down towards the goal, lowers the shoulder, tries to send one in front, and he lost it, and another whistle here. And is the net off? We will see here. 13:54 to go, and yep, that net is dislodged again. You know, we get an abundance of stats here, thanks to the wonderful crew of people working this SEC tournament. We got so many stats, but we do not have a stat for the amount of times the net has been knocked off.
We're approaching double digits here, Dillon. It's getting a little ridiculous.
7 times. We do have that stat. Thank you very much. Brown back at the point. They work it back down low. Here on this 2-man advantage, 35 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Working it back out. Jake Tenji, short-handed. He's going to have to be careful here. Stretch pass through danger. Hickman able to work it over for Soar. Soar able to send it down. Ice off the official, though. It stays in. Carlson looking towards the slot area. Backhand. Pulls it to the forehand and almost able to stuff it in there. Great play by Adam Carlson. And another whistle here. And the net is off for time number 8. Gotta love having numbers here. 13:30 to go in period number 3. I'm gonna write that down myself so I remember. 8 times the net has been dislodged. I'm a little more excited about that than you guys probably are at home. My apologies. 13:30 to go here in period number 3. Gamecocks trail by 1. 30 shots on goal for the Gamecocks. 20 for the Tigers of Auburn, who before this game sported a 6-10-1 record, that one being an overtime loss rather than a tie. 2-2 in the SEC. Their wins came against Florida and Tennessee. Tennessee, who fell and was knocked out by Georgia. Florida, who plays later on tonight at 8:45, I believe, that game against Arkansas. Back to the point again, Brown. They go down low, a shot sprawled out as Gratzky, but they score. It's a power play goal. 13:21 to go in the period, and Auburn back up by 2.
Yeah, tough break for Gratzky there. Good puck movement by Auburn, moving the puck around on the 5-on-3, and chance there. Gratzky laying out. Thought he had it, but puck in the back of the net, and celebrations for the Tigers right now.
When you can get that puck moving on a 5-on-3, you go east to west, that's one thing, but you go from the blue line down to the goal line. Extremely difficult for the goaltender to get down, stay true to his form. Gratzky did everything he could there, laid out, sprawling back with that glove. It helped him once, but not this time. As Auburn back out to a 2-goal lead here, 5-3. Complete flip-flop here of the score from 2 weeks ago in Athens. And we will wait here to see the official scorer's note. Still, 13 and some change to go in the period. And we're going to go back and forth still. No one ready to give an inch here. Hayden Harris hasn't been tested in quite some time.
Yeah, more goals this period than we have the rest of the game. And a lot of offensive chances on both sides. Harris has been beat a couple times, which may come as a surprise for those who watched the first and second period of how dominant Harris was. So there are definitely chances on both sides. Auburn has a chance to run away with it up 2 right now with 13 to go. And South Carolina, if they keep up the offense they've had at the start of this third period, they got a chance to get back in this game. But with 56 seconds remaining on the power play for Auburn, we'll see what happens to them.
Evan Hoey's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty has been wiped out due to the goal. Ronan Egan's trip still stays up there for 56 more seconds. Auburn with a golden opportunity here to maybe put this game out of reach. The penalty killers for South Carolina, Drummond. On the far side, Nick Pizzo. Back end, Evan Hoey out there. And off the faceoff, Cam Mecca wins it forward. Short-handed, here comes Mecca. Nice move to the back end. Falling down and a save made there by Harris. Cam Mecca trying to get momentum any way he can, and a big hit there on the far side. They'll move it back in. Power play opportunity, shooting one, and that one just wide of the goal. In the corner, 40 to go on the penalty to Ronan Egan. South Carolina short-handed, wrists one all the way back out off a glove, picked up at center ice by Blanding. And backhanded again off the official. Back in comes the Blake Drummond. D over to Hoey, wristed all the way back out. Beautiful saucer pass all the way back down to the right of Hayden Harris. Harris giving Pizzo a bit of a wave there. Anything you can do to gain an edge here. Steven Verone brings this one ahead as far as Evan Hoey. This one swatted back out towards that Predators logo. Offsides, delayed. They'll touch up, and Gamecocks move this one back out. Final second clicks off the penalty there. Cam Mecca back in. He takes a hit there. Pizzo. And now back on the ice. Evan Hoey able to hold that one in. No, but they don't touch it up. And a big hit there by Hoey. The Mack truck gets another one. Here comes Cam Mecca through center. Shot there on the back and rebound. Just couldn't be tucked home. Another opportunity there for Pizzo. Gamecocks getting him towards the goal. And can't get him to fall. 12 to go here in the third. Gamecocks trail by 2. This one, Hoey flies by that one. Again, another hit there. This one pops off the shin guard of Cam Mecca. Tries to kick it up to his stick. And now Auburn back in and through center ice. Both these teams got to be gassed by this point. So far, they'll work it through center. And again, back in. Drummond's going to have to stop it on the back end. Chip this one back out. High stick by Ian Powderly will be called. Stick up above the shoulders and crossbar level there. 11:37 to go in the third. 31 shots for South Carolina. 21 for Auburn.
Yeah, and a big chance for South Carolina there, starting with a hit right off that blue line, and led to some good stick handling ability by Cam Mecca to get inside, and nice pass upside, but just fanned on there. And this game remains 5-3. Has another chance to beat Harris. Goes by the wayside.
Chance after chance here in this third period. They've gotten through. And they've elected to move this face-off back in, as it was decided that, I mean, we know that Powderly touched the puck with a high stick. We know that much, but it'll come back into South Carolina territory. 5-on-5, we skate for now. Seems like that has been the rarity here in the latter 2 periods. Gamecocks bring it back ahead. It's Ronan Egan again, out to that right wing. Brings it around, centering pass, knocked down in front. Still it's loose and almost a chance there on the far side for Weeks. Hickman pokes it free, keeps it in the zone. Now it bobbles just back out past the blue line, and Hickman's got to get back towards his defensive post there. Back again, the other way comes Driggs. Driggs bodied off the puck there by Dave Murray. Coming free to Weeks, now on for Egan. Egan with Powderly in the slot, goes to the backhand. Centers for Powderly, and again, that one's shut down. At the point, Hickman lets one go. Tipped in front, save made, still loose in front. They'll clear it out towards the boards. Held in again by Duncan Hickman. Had the game winner against Clemson so many weeks ago. Hickman deadly from that far side point, although not yet tonight. Back in by the Tigers. Curls it around Hickman. Nice chance there by Carlson, and he's knocked down. Adam Carlson, an opportunity to put his team up by 3 here. South Carolina, 10.5 to go. Working it up through center, it's Dave Murray. Murray elects not to skate through the man, but rather to throw the puck to the outside and skate in after it. All the way out towards center. Ben Smith going to have to get it for South Carolina. D-to-D pass, and Smith kind of fanned on it there. Makes it a little difficult for Duncan Hickman. Work back out once more. Over center red, Corey Hawkinson throws this one back in. Chopped back below the goal line by Harris. Hawkinson after it for South Carolina. Hawkinson going to work that puck free. Centering pass for Smith. Back too far in his skates. And again, come the Tigers in transition. Awkward chance there Puck popping off the stanchion. A big hit on the near side there, Corey Hawkinson. And that'll be a penalty here. That'll draw a crowd. Hawkinson will be taken off here for sure. The only variable will be how long Hawkinson sits in the box. And that could be a huge, huge turning point here in terms of momentum in this hockey game.
Well, we had just seen Auburn's defense start to get lackadaisical as a couple sequences in a row. South Carolina beat them to the puck there in the offensive zone, and momentum kind of turned around after that hit on the boards. Penalty and another chance for Auburn to try and run away with this game.
2 minutes up on the board only. Corey Hawkinson boxed on either a boarding or hitting from behind. We'll wait to get the official word, but regardless, 9:50 to go. Another power play for Auburn. Chance to put it away. Long wrister goes up off the board, stays in play, takes an awkward bounce off the glass, and they'll work it back still. Bodied off the puck there by Cam Mecca, comes free, and Brown unable to hold it in on the friendly side there of the blue line. Comes back out into Auburn territory. Mecca blows a tire, but this time it's in the offensive zone. Brown weaving ahead there. Nice move to the outside on Tenji. Brown still with it, shoots one, he scores! Oh, what a goal by Chandler Brown. It's a power play goal, and it's 6-4 Tigers.
My, oh my, Chandler Brown has been good. We talked about him in the pregame, had 2 assists in the 5-3 loss to South Carolina earlier this season. And boy, what a move, setting up that shot. Beat Gratzky fairly easily in a wonderful move, wonderful shot, leads to this Auburn goal.
Chandler Brown weaving his way through center ice, widens that base there, gets the skates out wide. Incredibly difficult to knock him off the puck when he gets into that stance. And just an incredible release. You never even saw the stick twitch. And he goes upstairs over the glove of Gratzky. Tigers certainly liking to go
and
up
it
top.
Looks like we're going to have another penalty here.
We got Jake Tenji in the box here as we sort this one out. Tenji back out of the box, and he's done for the evening. That'll be it for Jake Tenji.
South Carolina captain being sent off right now.
Jake Tenji has played his last shift tonight. 6-2 the score. And a 3-goal lead, not typically nail in the coffin territory, but without Jake Tenji, that hole seems deeper. Back through after the power play goal. On through, they work it back. Gamecocks put that one off a skate. It's Adam Carlson. Point shot redirected in front. Now into the corner it goes. Avery Pruden back behind the goal. Gamecocks trying to extend this one. Zach Weeks chipped away from him. Puck bounces up in the air over the red line. Egan can't motor on ahead with it, but Pruden does, only briefly. Chip back in, bouncing puck glove down to the stick there of Tyler Brinkman. He'll go to his defensive partner, out off the boards, and Adam Carlson's got it for the Tigers. Carlson down low. Auburn not taking any chances here. They're sitting comfortably with a 3-goal lead. Less than 8 to go in the period. Back ahead is Carlson with it, 8.5. That shot just missing the blocker of Kyle Gratzky. Puck rimmed all the way back around, and a hit there at open ice by Powderly. And Gamecocks starting to take a bit more liberties here physically. And Ronan Egan rather, able to get that puck through his skates. And Chandler Brown for Auburn, able to chip this one back around. Ben Smith holds it there for South Carolina. Takes the body on Chris Hutter. Back out, skipping puck held there by Pruden. Takes a hit there by Brown. The puck worked further still by the Gamecocks. In the slot, Egan shoots one. A big save by Harris. The rebound still loose. Egan in after it. Loose it comes. No one knows where the puck is. Pizzo finally gets in after it. Pizzo centers one. Egan shooting one. Save made there by Harris again. And again, more after the whistle. It's Pizzo getting involved with it. Pruden still. And again, Nick Pizzo tangling with Thomas Creech after the play. 7:51 to go in the period. And nothing more will come out of this one. And Jake Tenji, we've gotten the word. Tenji got a 10-minute misconduct. So not technically a game misconduct, but due to the fact that there are fewer than 10 minutes remaining in regulation, Tenji was just sent back to the locker room. We don't have an official reason here on the misconduct. But Jake Tenji done for the night.
Yeah, South Carolina doing their best to try and stay in this game with 8 minutes remaining and a couple chances, but man, Harris has been unbeatable so far today. And another great pair of saves there in the offensive zone.
Defensive zone draw for Auburn results in a bit of a forecheck here. Offensive chance for South Carolina. That slot shot goes way wide. Hickman chips it down low for Ben Smith. Guys not afraid to throw their weight around here in the latter stages of period number 3. In after it, watch closely there. Picked off there by Dave Murray. Sent all the way back around. Looks like Pizzo's going to get in after it. Nick Pizzo against 3 Tigers. Chips this one back down low. Played from a skate to a stick. Wrapped all the way back up in a stretch pass. And hit from behind there is Dave Murray. Murray in some discomfort. Play continues here on the delayed whistle. Finally touched up by the Tigers here. And we will have a stoppage. Gamecocks will go to a power play here. And a cross check. The official call here. Murray hit from behind. And sent to the penalty box will be Steven Verone.
Yeah, dangerous cross check there on Dave Murray, who's one of the shorter players on this South Carolina team, and that one was up high. He definitely took a good look there, but power play for South Carolina, trying to keep some hope alive in this game. Down 3 with about 7 to go.
Really just bad timing there on that hit. If Murray had touched that puck a split second sooner and begun to turn, it wouldn't have been a penalty at all if it hadn't been a cross check. Without the cross check, it would have been a legal hit. Murray had the puck, but a defenseless player there in Dave Murray, and we've already had 1 timeout. Auburn has taken their timeout, and now the Gamecocks, yes, Gamecocks will take their timeout here. And Alan Surwa, the man with the whiteboard right now for the Gamecocks, drawing up something. 7 minutes to go, a 3-goal deficit, but a power play to work with. You're without your captain, and an interesting blend here of positives and negatives for South Carolina. Trying to pull off the unlikely here in round 1 of the SEC Tournament. The winner of this game, we flip here back to the tournament seedings. The winner of this game will play the winner of Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. Ole Miss being the 2 seed, Vanderbilt the 7 seed. Just some history on that. Gamecocks, 2 of their 5 SEC wins have come against Vanderbilt. Some solid history with them, but if this game is any indication, history means nothing at this point.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this team is disappointed in the way they've played so far. They started the season so strong, coming off the loss to Kentucky in the first round last year, and they definitely wanted to avenge that and win the first one here. And 7 minutes left. About to see what this team is made of and who's going to step up to be the leader with Tingy out. Empty net down to our left. Alan Surwa has like to go 6-on-4 here, the power play with 7 minutes to go. Sharp angle shot, and Harris making sure everybody knows, but he's got that puck in his glove. Another face-off. We will reset slightly, and deja vu will ensue here. An offensive zone chance for South Carolina. 6-on-4. Well, we talked about earlier in the game how South Carolina needed to get more offensive chances on net. 36 shots on goal for South Carolina. That just shows how good Harris has been tonight. Off the draw, they win it back. Gamecocks with pressure, though. Powderly rotating. Back out to the point. There's room there between the top of the dot and the blue line. Back down low again. Sharp angle, redirected in front. They score! Bobby Van Duzen taps one home on the man advantage. Gamecocks back within 2. A lot of time left on that clock. Solid puck movement there in the 3rd period. That's certainly what the Gamecocks needed. They're not done yet. Down 2 with 7 to go, and Surwa's play, whatever he drew up there on that timeout, certainly worked. Good chance out in front, and one thing that we've seen that we hasn't been there all game is the crowding in front of the slot. Those first shots get bounced out, and rebounds, chances in front. So chance in front there, and that one opportunity capitalized by South Carolina. When you get outnumbered down low in the slot area like that, difficult to stop all of those passing lanes, and Auburn typically good at covering those out tonight, but just in that one instance, Gamecocks are able to squeak a pass through, and they have a gasp of life here with just under 6.5 to go here in the 3rd period. On they work it, back out, Duncan Hickman. Redirected pass in front, loose, and now Harris lost his net. Puck still loose. Gamecocks can't keep it in. This one bounces down. Kyle Gratzky back in his net. Off the boards, Powderly picks it up. Gamecocks move it back in. Powderly has it poked off his stick at the blue line. Hickman racing up towards it. Sees this one off the boards, plays it to himself. Nice shuffle pass there by Duncan Hickman with contact from Hunter. Weiss moves it back in for the Tigers. Centering pass. Ronan Egan of South Carolina able to pick it up there. Egan
Motors on through. Auburn in the midst of a change. Egan in the slot with it. Shooting one, and that one popped off the stick, redirected by Thomas Creech up into the netting behind the goaltender Harris. And another face-off here.
Yeah, South Carolina with a breath of fresh air after that last goal, and they definitely got a little bit of momentum going, trying to get more shots in the offensive zone and more chances in the offensive zone. Face-off here with about 6 remaining.
We talked about the speed game. Gamecocks electing to play it here in the latter stages of the third as that centering pass would not go. Still fighting after it below the goal line, 2 Gamecocks. Auburn works it out as far as center ice. This one flipped back in. South Carolina's got a touch up, and they do. The regroup pass all the way back out. It's a rolling puck, but picked up as far as center. Wristed off the stick there. It's Blake Drummond. Spinning off that check. Colin Tate, as they'll try to work this one out, and Gamecocks have it again. Bobby Van Dusen, the goal scorer, makes it a 6-4 hockey game. Van Dusen with a goal and an assist in tonight's contest. Bouncing puck kicked out there by Harris. What kind of puck luck would that have been? Still on that far side. Gratzky still in his net. 5 to go. 5 and some change here in the third period. Center ice chance. Drummond the shot, and right on that Auburn logo. Hayden Harris able to smother that puck here with 5:12 to go in the third.
Gamecocks electing to put everything on net right now. See how many shots they can get on Harris here, and hopefully one will squeak by. But good shot there, good setup. The puck squeaked out to the point. Good shot, and crowded in front of the net, but a good save by Harris once again.
Got the traffic in front. That puck was solid level for a redirection, but the Gamecocks aren't able to really get any sort of tips and deflections at all this year. So at this point, that puck's got to get down in for a rebound off the goaltender's pads as this puck drifts all the way back down. Under 5 to go in the period. Gamecocks on the verge of 40 shots against Hayden Harris. Stretch pass works out for him. They'll work this one back through neutral ice. The second stretch pass did not work. Auburn works it back in. Chipped on back. Brian Soar goes to the air again, out to just open ice, and a bouncing puck evades Callahan Crowley. Off the skate of Soar, picked up though. It's Carlson shooting one, and a glove save there by Kyle Gradsky. 4.5 to go. Carlson looking to put it back out of reach, but Gradsky slams the door.
Yeah, another mental mistake in the defensive zone there, giving the puck up, and good play by number 47, Carlson, who's been pretty strong for Auburn all day today, and good shot there, good save by Gradsky to keep South Carolina in this game.
Adam Carlson all over the ice tonight for Auburn. Gamecocks win that defensive zone faceoff. They'll flip it back up. Rolling puck. Nice chop there by Zach Weeks. He'll get in after it himself. Weeks backhands one up for Ian Powderly. Powderly with Hawkinson going to the net. Nice move by Powderly there. He's taken down there. Play continues. Around they go. Hawkinson has this one out in front. Brown works it back down below. He's hounded there by Hawkinson and narrowly escapes a check there by Powderly. Gamecocks still have it. The Hawkinson lost it in the slot there as he tried to turn. 4 minutes remain. Centering pass there. The Gamecocks have it. Powderly. He gets bumped off the puck there, and Harris just redirects that puck into the corner. Kept in there, right around that blue line territory. Worked back out. Gamecocks have it if they touch up. Dave Murray, and blown down on the offsides here. It looked as though Ian Powderly had gotten back and touched up by the time Dave Murray got in over that line, but a different viewpoint yields different results. Gamecocks whistled on the offsides here. 3:50 to go in the period.
Yeah, once again, South Carolina just throwing everything they got on net and hoping something goes in. And a face-off here while the Auburn goalie isn't paying attention.
Hayden Harris still putting his gloves and his helmet back on as this puck is dropped. All the way back in, Drummond in after. Kyle Gradsky still in his net for South Carolina. The deficit is 2. Back around, Hoey towards the red line. Gamecocks have it with Egan breaking towards the goal. Centering pass just past the skate of Harris. In after it hard, it comes out. Mecca works in towards the slot. Nice move to the backhand. Towards the forehand again. Another chance. Van Dusen in the slot. Save made there. Might have been blocked in front. A secondary opportunity, and still it's blocked. Where's the puck, though? Harris has it. He's got it for a face-off. We've got Auburn player down on the ice. And this one will be sorted out here. So much action. Got a little tongue-tied there. 3:17 to go in the third as Harris slams the door for yet another time here in period number 3.
Yeah, and Harris has been excellent. We've said it all game, but 40 shots by the South Carolina team, where a lot of the goals that have come this season have been on rushes and a lot of chances set up, but Harris has just been unstoppable.
Onto the back, Soar wrists one intentionally wide, whacked down below the goal line again by Harris, gloved down by Dave Murray, and he loses this one almost instantly. Murray underneath with Powderly. It seems like Ian Powderly's been on for at least 2 minutes straight now. Murray still with it, trying to wrestle it away from Adam Carlson. Pickaxed out of the corner, it comes free now. Powderly back on for Duncan Hickman. Soar wants that puck, he's not going to get it. Back around, sent in by Duncan Hickman. Dave Murray's going to get after it. Carlson again chips this one in and past Duncan Hickman. And Soar's going to have to race back and avoid the forecheck there of Jack Driggs. Some contact along that near side wall behind the play. Powderly with 2.5 to go. Sees that puck just off his stick, chip back up in the air. And a collision there, Carlson and Soar. Not as big as it looked like it was going to be. And now a loose puck picked up by Loic Harris, though. And forecheck there by Dave Murray. Gamecocks have the puck for a moment. And Carlson brings it back out. Flips this one in and heads for the bench. As one forechecker in for Auburn, it is Thomas Moore. Moore almost creating a genuine opportunity there. In on the forecheck, but Soar picks this one up, heads it out for Corey Hawkinson. Hawkinson hindered at the blue line, not entirely though. They get it back out. Hoey's going to have to wait for his teammates to touch up. Now he'll bring it back in. In and around, Loic Harris takes another hit there by Evan Hoey, and it's going to be a delayed penalty. Gamecocks touch this one up. Hawkinson's going to sit a boarding minor here. That will all but sign and seal this one here. Minute 49 to go. Gamecocks will be shorthanded. Evan Hoey boxed for the second time tonight. And another power play opportunity here coming up for Auburn.
Yeah, it looks like that one put the knife in the heart right there for South Carolina, and any chance they had it coming back in this game. A good offensive effort. I don't know if we've seen 40 shots by the South Carolina team so far this season, but great effort by Hayden Harris so far today, and he's my MVP.
Shot attempts even greater by both teams. Got to be up in the 60 area for South Carolina. Block shots and pucks that went wide, as well as Auburn. They got to be up into the 40 attempt area. As the Gamecocks bring it back shorthanded. Kyle Gradsky still in the net. Brown brings this one in by himself. He'll wrist this one in on Gradsky, and he will move this puck. Smart heads-up play there by Gradsky. Wrist it out towards the dasher. It comes back in. Gamecocks able to dump this without fear of icing due to their being shorthanded. Backhander, work back in. Mecca after for South Carolina. Mecca gets taken into the glass there on the near side. They'll work it back out. Free comes to Hickman now. Hickman in the slot for Mecca. Taken away there. They waited just too long. It's going to be an odd man rush back the other way for Auburn. Broke it up nicely there by Blake Drummond. They'll work it back out towards center. Drummond's finally got his stick back now. Line change for South Carolina. To the final 60 seconds here. The end of game 1 of this SEC tournament. Should the results stay the same, Auburn will go on to play the winner of Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. That game coming up within the next hour and a half. We will not have coverage of that game, but head on over to Penalty Box Radio. The guys will pick up the game for you there. That shot sticked away by Hayden Harris. Gamecocks will have a consolation game tomorrow. We will have to wait for the results of the remaining games to see when that will be and against whom. As they bring it out, empty net down to our left, they score. And that one will be the final nail in the coffin there. Thomas Moore makes it 7 for Auburn. And a Tiger team with nothing to lose and a lot to prove get it done here in the late stages of period number 3. And really a risk that a necessary evil for South Carolina, pulling their goaltender there.
Yeah, South Carolina came out in this game, didn't start too hot, but picked it up at the end of the first period, and they've really found some form of offense here in the third period, putting up 3 this period, but Auburn has been just as good, if not better, in this third period offensively.
Another chance for more in a case here in this hockey game of too little, too late. 4 goals for the Gamecocks. 9 times out of 10, 4 goals should be enough to beat the opponent there, but 7 against. 1 empty net, or really 6 against Kyle Gradsky. With 21.4 here. They'll drop it in Gamecock territory. And it comes all the way back out through center ice. They wash out the icing. And Jacob Blanding's going to take it from here. Landing, watched by Smith. Smith having a conversation here with Hayden Harris. And this puck popped off the stick of Ben Smith, and they will let the clock run out here as Auburn edges South Carolina here, 7-4 in the opening round. And that will be it for the Gamecocks here in regular tournament play. As I said, they will have a consolation game later on in the weekend. We will get that information out to you as soon as we can here. Auburn goes on. Hard-fought game there by their heroic goaltender. They move on to play either Ole Miss or Vanderbilt. The 2 seed in Ole Miss, the 7 seed in Vanderbilt. We got to wait for that result here later on tonight. We will step aside, and when we come back, a brief post-game recap. We'll break down how things broke down here in Nashville when we come back on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back. Final time tonight here on the Capital City Sports Network. It is the post-game recap as the Gamecocks fall in the opening round here of the SEC Tournament. 7-4 final score against visiting Auburn, the 6th seed. An upset here against the Gamecocks, and a lot of points to start the game. Have to finish, can't take penalties, got to come out strong, and really a case of opposite day here for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, South Carolina really couldn't get anything going. And when they did start to get something going, it was usually discipline that was the issue, especially with that the goal led then a unsportsmanlike penalty, on the celebration, which led to a 5-on-3 after a tripping call, and then led to a goal for Auburn, and really wheels off the bus for the South Carolina team.
Solid nighting goal at one end, bit of a rough start at the other end for Kyle Gradsky. He let in 6 goals on 24 shots. The 25th shot and 7th goal were an empty netter. Hayden Harris faces 40, able to stop 36 of those, and that's good enough to get him and his team into the second round. And Brown scoring 2 goals for Auburn. Talked about the Gamecocks' inability to control the other team's leading scorers, no matter who they're playing. and that seemed to be the case again tonight.
Yeah, Brown, we talked about him pregame. He had 2 assists in the earlier matchup, Auburn versus South Carolina, and he did not disappoint today. I'm sure he's been remembering that loss earlier in the season and waiting for this game, and he did not disappoint. A couple of goals and good performance from him.
Brown and Harris come up huge for their team. Adam Carlson all over the ice as well for the Tigers. And they bring down the Gamecocks here 7-4 in Nashville. Gamecocks, as we said, will have another game tomorrow. We have to wait until the results of the next 2 games come out to see who the Gamecocks will play for that consolation game. But as of right now, that's all we've got for you. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. For Zach McKinstry, all of us here at the Capital City Sports Network, I'm Dillon Clark. Good night, Caroline, and forever to thee.